Hello everyone, I'm NiiNiifc. This is Blue Lions TV, and I'm bringing another subscriber calling live stream. And you guys, sorry for the delay. Of course, I did a quick match review of the Juventus Real Madrid game. I felt that there was a lot to talk about with that, so I just felt, you know what, let me quickly bang out a review before I come and do this. But I'm just waiting for my first caller to come on. Snowman Ronaldo, President Jafar. Hey man, you good? Yeah, Juve got robbed. They did. And you guys earlier on too, obviously, I had to re-upload my video. I need to explain myself with what happened actually. Of course, I ended up saying, you know, I don't even want to say the word again in case, what is it? I get demonetized or some shit. But I'm just gonna say Negrito. Obviously, anytime I do my videos, I do get very frustrated with myself if I make a mistake. If I'm recording and then I mess up what I'm saying, you know, I hate doing repeated takes when I'm doing my, recordings. It can just really get on my nerves. I can get really angry, and then like a madness can just come out of my mouth. So normally one word I normally say to myself is, you bitch ass Negrito. Anytime I make a mistake, yeah, it's stupid, it's dumb, but when I'm angry in the moment, I like to vent by, I don't know, I can be too harsh on myself. That's the reality of the situation. So of course I stupidly forgot to edit that part out. Now I was going to leave it, but then I felt, you know what, it's coming in the 48th second. It's a bit too stupid to just leave it in here. So I had to quickly obviously delete that and re-upload it again. So it's funny, but yeah, so with how some people were getting, like, they couldn't believe what I said. It's like, did people think I was white this whole time or something? Like, oh, I don't know. I didn't know what to take from that. I felt kind of offended, not gonna lie. But obviously, the only thing I can apologize for is obviously having to re-upload again. That's all I can apologize for. But it seems like the first caller is actually on. Hey man, are you there?
Yo, how's it going, man? You
Hey
good?
man, I'm good. I'm good. Perfect. If you want to introduce yourself to the stream.
Yeah, so my name's Umesh. I'm from the UK, Birmingham. Chelsea fan for a long time now. I run a Twitter account called Blue Tweets FC, and yeah, I guess I'm quite a pessimistic fan. So at least that's what people tell me. But I'm trying to be optimistic for next summer. But yeah, just watch the Juventus match, which I think they got robbed from that. Personally, I don't think that's a penalty.
Yeah.
Have you seen Buffon's quotes towards the referee?
Yeah, I saw it. So he should be eating some chips instead of of refereeing or something like that. I paraphrase it pretty badly, but I agree with him, to be honest. You know what? If Real Madrid conceded that foul in the box at the end, there's no way in hell Oliver's awarding that as a penalty to Juventus. He's not doing
100%.
that. And how many times were we seeing that exact same foul made outside the box, and he wasn't calling it as a foul? So
and this is why there's no UK English referees going to the World Cup.
Exactly. And this is a personal thing for me, but the amount of dick riding by those guys at BT Sport, the amount of times I heard Ronaldo's name.
Oh my God, yes.
Times it was,
it's like they don't mention any other player that contributed to anything. It's like
yeah. But real, you know what summed it up for me was Gary Lineker making a comment about his body. Oh, what a body. It's like, come on.
Oh yeah, he said about the physique.
Yeah, I know. What a physique. Is the dick riding that strong? Like, that's what I've always felt though. Like, obviously Ronaldo is a world-class player. There's no denying that. No one can say anything about that. But I've always felt that maybe some certain guys' like obsession and fascination with Ronaldo was a bit too strong. It's like you can almost imagine that they picture trying to live like him, trying to be like him. What's it like being Ronaldo? Like, they take it too far. You know what I mean? Sometimes you have these moments where it comes up where you're saying on live TV, "Oh, what a physique!" You know what I mean? So
yeah, and I think you've also got people like Rio Ferdinand there, who's obviously played alongside Ronaldo, so he's gassing him up a bit.
Yeah,
so it's not the first time we've seen this. I think Messi gets the same thing though as well. I think they like to play the whole fantasy of Messi versus Ronaldo, and that's why they like to pick them up a lot of the times. I think they do it a lot more with Ronaldo though. At least, I don't know. It's just one of those things.
Yeah, you're right. But again, of course, with Messi, they do that. But I feel with Ronaldo, it's like this game today. He doesn't do anything in the entire game. He kind of steals the spotlight by doing the most decisive thing, and then his whole performance is forgotten about. It's all about his body, how good he is in this and that. Ronaldo, like Rio Ferdinand can't hide a smile off his face. Obviously, remembering all those times in the dressing room together, he must have really cherished them times together, is what I can say. But I don't know.
I feel so sorry for Juventus, though, man. Like, how many times are they? They must hate Real Madrid at this point. They must hate them. And Buffon, man.
Yeah, Buffon. Honestly, if I was, I mean, I'm a scumbag though. If I was, I would have just thrown my hands. I would have just thrown hands. I would have scrapped
Yeah, yeah.
Like, it's my last ever Champions League game. What's anyone going to do? Ban me? You know, I give the two.
Yeah, I saw like a picture of Michael Oliver alongside Ronaldo, and they both got 2 slits in their hair.
Yeah, I saw that one. People on Twitter find things so quickly. Honestly,
It's insane how quickly people pick up to these things.
I know. This emphasizes my point about obviously how many Ronaldo begs there are. Would I be surprised that Oliver's got a poster of Ronaldo in this room? I wouldn't be surprised by that. Well, I'd be surprised if he's going to his barber saying, "Give me the Ronaldo." I wouldn't be.
And the barber's like, "Say no more, fam.
Say no more. Say no more." Snip, and then look like a B Tech or C Tech Ronaldo.
Yeah, that's what happens when you listen to like one grime track and you think you're the next like Gets or something. But anyway, let's go straight into the questions. Actually, I had my own question prepared, but I saw a good comment in this live stream. The guy said, "Do you think Jody Morris? What do you think of the future of Jody Morris? Do you think he can be the next Pep Guardiola with what he's doing with the youth team?"
I mean, I definitely think he's got a case. There's another guy within their setup too. How can I forget his name? He was a previous youth team manager before Jody Morris. He did a lot of amazing things as well, and Jody Morris has kind of just continued off that good work. All these guys we're seeing at Chelsea, we know that Chelsea aren't the club to have the balls to promote from within. We know that, but these guys will definitely be managers in Europe. I mean, we've got a history of that with Brendan Rodgers, with Clement as well, and our other assistant coach, the Scottish guy who played for us in the 90s. You know, when Mourinho was the manager, he was part of he was his assistant manager.
Yeah. And he went
to West Brom. Yeah, what was his name?
Yeah. Didn't he go on to manage Middlesbrough, something?
I think so. He was West Brom. There was another team. I forgot what his name is.
I don't think did he do West Brom? I remember he managed Middlesbrough, but I can't remember.
I think he did West Brom as well. So, but like I'm saying, we've got a history of these guys doing well because I mean, you know, what Chelsea expect to become a youth team coach is a lot, obviously, and you know, Jody Morris is definitely going to have a big name, and honestly, I just hope that in this country we promote some of these young English coaches now. You know, too often there's like this boys' club of guys like Allardyce, Pardew. You know, no matter how good or bad the jobs they do, and mostly bad these days, they constantly still keep getting jobs every single time now. And when you're looking at some of the younger English coaches coming up in this country, Jody Morris is testament to that. I really hope that they start to get opportunities and, you know, people start to try and sign them. Yeah, Steve Clark. Yeah, Steve Clark was his name.
Ah, yes.
Yeah, that was it.
Yeah. I mean, it's getting to a point where they're doing so well, the youth team. They're knocking on the door, and it's become almost impossible to ignore. So much to the fact that the media are even questioning the way we're running the club and why we're not playing people like Loftus-Cheek, especially when you look at the added fact of these amazing young talent that leave and go on loan, and then they either become a superstar or they just disappear. Like, do you remember that that player that was going to be the next Lampard, McEachran? Yeah, I was so optimistic about that guy, and he just ended up, I don't know what happened to him, just went on loan, and
I feel sorry for him.
I think it was to Wigan, wasn't it? And he just disappeared.
I mean, this is what I mean. You know, we messed up Gal Kakuta and we messed up Josh McEachran. I remember Josh McEachran's debut. He played against Newcastle in the Carling Cup at the time. He came on and he was calling for the ball. He was dictating the play. He was spraying passes. Guys like Lampard in the team were giving him the ball, and he had the confidence in his own skill set.
Well, he was keeping Essien out of the team at the time.
I wouldn't say keeping him out of the team, but he was definitely getting a lot of chances to play. He had another good game against Zelina too, I remember. He actually created an assist in that game, an amazing through ball pass. Basically, I've always said that McEachran was variety before variety became a thing, because Ancelotti was the manager in charge, and you know, with how they used to play in terms of collect the ball deep, they had, you know, they could keep very good close control that could dribble past people as well as set up attacks. You know, he was variety before variety became a thing. But, you know, unfortunately at Chelsea, Ancelotti went, and then they didn't know how to use him because we didn't want to use him in midfield anymore because he was small and, you know, but negative. And then we sent him on loan to shit teams. For example, this guy was on loan at Middlesbrough for the season. Imagine he was playing on the right as a winger that whole season for
Oh,
Middlesbrough.
I didn't know that.
Yeah, I know. That's what I mean.
Jeez.
Disgrace. Really just, I mean, sometimes when you see him play for Brentford, I mean, I look at a few highlight clips in there, you can see that talent he used to have, but the opportunities
But surely, like when there's I mean, obviously it must be a lot more detailed than this. But surely, when the club are negotiating with different teams in terms of a loan deal, the club would have the player's best interest in mind, thinking about, okay, this is where we think his best position is. Like, this is what we want to expect from him in terms of how many game time he gets.
Mhm.
Like, how does that even happen? How does he just end up on the wing? Or is it just, bad management from our behalf in loaning him to
Mate,
teams like Middlesbrough?
maybe it's a combination of both, to be honest. I think that I mean I can't remember the full situation at the time because it was so long ago. Like I think it was like 2011 or something. But I mean, of course, anytime you send a player of yours on loan to a club, they're at the mercy of their loan club. For example, if they sack a manager and a new guy comes in, whatever agreement you had with the club prior and that prior manager, it goes out the window now with a new guy coming in. He's not going to care. But at the time, you know, Chelsea didn't really. I think when they were introducing this whole loan system, they didn't really have a strategy in place at the time. I mean, if you remember, it became more pushed out there in the media that Chelsea have, like, you know, certain clubs that they don't ever do business with, and you know, there's certain quotas that they have to put in if you want to bring a Chelsea player on loan, just to make sure they can get guaranteed game time on loan. At the time when guys like McEachran and Kakuta were going out on loan, there weren't any of those type of deals in place. So, you know, they were really at the mercy of like this experimental stage that Chelsea were at.
Yeah, yeah. And it is a big deal about, I mean, for me, the whole loaning system, it can be a good thing. I think it gets a lot of abuse, which rightfully so, but at the same time, I just look at people like, I don't know if Lewis Baker did Lewis Baker go to Vitesse?
Yeah, he did 2 seasons.
Yeah, and I look at things like that and I'm just thinking like, it just doesn't, like, I can see why they're doing it because of the whole relationship between Abramovich
Yeah,
and Vitesse, but it's just annoying to see it because these things can literally make or break a player's career
yeah,
because there can be another McEachran where they just fizzle out. No
yeah,
one knows who they are, even though they have the potential of being like an England superstar or whatever.
yeah.
But yeah, one of the things I wanted to talk about was the whole summer transfer window coming up. Who would you, because obviously there's going to be a massive clear out in the summer, who would you sell in the summer that you also see realistically going?
Oh, but I saw, I mean, there's Drinkwater. I don't really think we need him anymore. Don't be surprised to see him moved on in the summer. Pedro for sure. He needs to get the hell out of this club. Um, uh, you know what? I do really like William. He's been amazing in the second part of the season. But let's say it meant that we were gonna hypothetically going for, let's say, like a Bailey Mares, for example, and it meant that we'd have to sell William. Well, you know, I think we'd have to, and you know, assess that, you know, he is 30 years old. We would be getting the maximum amount of money we could get for him, you know, especially when it's a World Cup year as well. 30 to 35 million, which is pretty good for a 30-year-old, especially when the club haven't offered him a new contract. I could see the business sense in selling him if it meant that we were bringing in a very good replacement. Um, Giroud, he needs to get the hell out of here. We don't really need him at
Oh,
all.
really? Would you
Nah,
not see him as like a super sub or anything like
nah. He's super sub is very. He hasn't been a super
that?
sub for how many months or like a season. It's not good enough. He needs to go. Gary Cahill needs to get the hell out of here.
Yeah, he needs to leave.
He needs to go. He needs to bounce. I mean, Barkley. If you got a bit, if someone like West Ham felt like, you know, they had 30 million to waste, I'd accept that. I don't. Barkley is one player I don't really see him having a place because he's not really a midfield player and he can't play on the wings. Again, but like I keep saying, it was only an investment signing from the beginning. So if we can get money for this guy, I suggest that we sell him on if we can. What other players need to get out of here? I'd keep Baka. I think he deserves another season. Same thing with Morata. I'd keep him, but if someone like Juventus say here's 60 million, we want Morata, I'd probably take that, to be honest. And I'm trying to
And
think.
then would you want to like build the team around Michi, or would you want to get another striker in like I know Martial's a winger, but he can still play the
He
striker.
can play up front, yeah. To be honest, I'd rather us go in for a player like a Martial. We got to lose this target man thing. You know, maybe if Mandzukic wanted to come, I consider that, to be honest. But ideally, I like a Martial type of striker because he's able to play across the front three and up front, and I think that versatility is a bonus. No more target man nonsense. But again, there's not going to be any more Conte ball from next season. So a lot of these guys don't make any sense. One more player. If we got a massive bid for Marcus Alonso, I'd take that as well.
Yeah, yeah. I think we still got Bergwijn on loan, right? Or is he?
I don't know. I don't know how he's doing at Schalke at this moment in time. I need to find out, to be honest.
Yeah, yeah. Now I've seen a lot of guys recently slating Cesc Fabregas in his previous performances because of how slow he is and all that stuff. In my opinion, I think it's a bit harsh because you're looking at things that have always been his weaknesses for so many years, like just like his pace. And when the whole team's doing poorly, it just seems like a scapegoat to me. Do you think he's someone that needs to be moved out? Because personally, I think he's someone that I can still see another 2 years out of him.
Yeah. Honestly, I think he has been scapegoated a lot. I don't understand why there's his focus and his pace all the time. I can't really remember a time when he's really been exposed for it. I mean, there's a difference between being tired and exhausted and being slow. With how Conte sets his team out, it's very rare that we. Here's the thing: when did we ever concede from players being out of position? I mean, to be honest, probably the only player that does really, not follows instructions properly. I mean, the two players are Bakayoko and Rudiger. I mean, too many times I'm seeing Rudiger pushing out and not keeping in line with his back three. Does it way too often. I thought he was getting better at that, but recently I'm seeing the same old Rudiger. But again, the point I'm trying to make is very rarely I'll be conceding because players are out of position. I mean, it's just not really like that. I don't understand why Cesc gets scapegoated so much, in my opinion.
Yeah, and the thing is, he's the only creative player we've got that can string a good pass.
Yeah.
Because I remember so many times where, especially last season, where he was on the bench and we needed someone who could string a pass, someone who was creative. And now that he's playing, like, I don't know, it just seems like it's a one bad patch. No, I know it's quite a long bad patch, but maybe even as a bench player would be good and get someone like Thiago in. But yeah,
I agree with something like that. I feel that he needs to be part of the squad, but even then, I'm always stressing this point. Whenever using Cesc Fabregas in his best role, he's a guy similar to Cruz and players like that dictate the game, control the tempo. They're not supposed to be able to do that as well as defend, as well as attack and score goals. I don't understand why, especially in this country, midfielders have to do every single thing when midfielders can't really do that anymore, and it's very rare that a midfielder can do all four of those things all together. So that makes no sense for me. But again, too often, I don't know if it's a Premier League thing or just a football fan thing in general. Too often, players are getting criticised for the things they can't do when you shouldn't really be criticising them for. And I'm not saying that properly. I don't know. Like I'm saying, Cesc is scapegoated way too much.
Yeah, totally agree. Now, the next thing I want to talk about was the whole Europa League thing, which it looks like we're going to be in next season.
Yeah.
Would you personally prefer for us to skip out on that and try and? I know this is quite a messed up thing to say, but try and finish. I think is it sixth you need to finish just to miss out on the Europa League, or would you want us to be in the Europa League? Personally, I would still like to be in it, even though I hate everything apart from the final.
Yeah.
And plus, it's a good way to qualify for the Champions League. But what's your thoughts on that? Because it's I know everyone hates it, to be honest, and including myself.
To be honest, I've always been someone that has respect for tournaments. I don't understand why the Europa League gets disrespected as much, especially when barely any English teams ever win it. So I find it rich that most English teams and their fans always, downplaying that tournament. No other teams across Europe complain about the Europa League like in the Premier League. But no, I think we have to have respect for it. That's a trophy we need to win. I feel that, similar to like the Carling Cup, a lot of times people would say that winning that is obviously it helps you in terms of giving you that confidence in big games and finals to really push on and try and win them. I think that for certain players like that, it could really be a big benefit to them, especially if it means that a lot of young players will be playing. Again, I was making these points in the 5 talking points after the West Ham game. I think with the Europa League as well, we have another chance of trying to win the Super Cup, so that would be good. Maybe, hopefully, third time lucky in this decade. Again, young players have a chance to play during the group stage because we'll easily wipe the floor with any team in the group stage. So that means that players should be getting full games, which would be good. I think there's a lot of benefits of playing in the Europa League. I mean, it doesn't really get serious until like February or March. So
Yeah, pretty much the semi-finals when like
yeah,
'cause I remember when we were last in it, I found it extremely boring until like the semi-final, the final. Having said that, the final was epic for me. Like,
yeah, it was
and it's a
amazing.
good trophy to add to your collection. And of course, like you said, the whole Super Cup, even though we lost it, it would give us another chance. And I think it's also another opportunity for us to rotate our team. If we don't have Europa League next season, then we're going to be playing probably the same team every week because we're able to afford to do that.
Exactly. So I think there's a lot of benefits, and I think the most important benefit I was stressing in that video is the fact that with the new coach coming in, of course, he's going to need a season to really get his ideals set in place. I think that just having extra games to do that, especially in terms of using the squad as well, and also having that pressure of it not really being as important for him, is going to be key in helping the team, get used to his the new style and continuing to the next season.
Yeah, that makes total sense. And would you bring back someone like Kennedy, he's starting to do well at Newcastle, or would you like to see him loaned out again?
No, I was making this point in another video too. I think with Kennedy, it's going to depend on who the new manager is going to be. But ideally, I'm thinking there's no way that there's no way that Chelsea have any type of strategy to develop a young player like that. Unfortunately, Kennedy didn't cost 30 million. If he did have a price on his name, then he'd get more game time guaranteed, that's for sure. But honestly, I feel that this would be. There's one thing I would really like to. I'm hoping to see this summer, and that's us implementing more buyback options and players we sell. I think that's the best thing we need to do. Most of these times you're not going to get a good loan club. A lot of Kennedy is someone that should be playing for like let's say a Bayer Leverkusen or something, or you know what I mean. A club like that aren't going to sign this guy on loan, knowing that they can't own him at the end of the season. I feel that it's time to sell him to a club like that, let him play for 2 years, and sign him back for 30 million, whatever, if he's good enough. I think that's what we need to do. Even he's playing at Newcastle. He hasn't developed yet because he's literally just playing because he hasn't been playing at all. We're not going to see what he can really do for another 2 years. So I feel that if he has these shitty loan moves, it's not really going to help him go to another level. I feel maybe just sell him with a buyback fee, then assess him in the future. And I want to see that happen to a lot of players, guys like a Boga. Unfortunately, I don't think he's going to have a chance, even though I think he's amazing. I mean, there's a lot of these guys, and I feel that, they're 22 going on to 23. They can't be getting these slow moves anymore.
Yeah, and also for them personally, they're probably getting sick of it after so many. I think we saw it with Solanke where he just thought, forget this, I'm just going to go to Liverpool. But yeah, no, I think that makes sense. Selling him, and then having a buyback clause. Because I just find it so odd when we make these signings like Drinkwater for 40 million or whatever it was, and then we sell people like Shaloba for 6 million. It does not make sense. And surely from the club's perspective, they're looking at it like these are very hot young players that have high potential. Like, what do they see in people like Drinkwater for them to pay 40 million for him? Do you know what I mean?
Really down to Conte. When you're getting rid of guys like Chalopa and Ruben for no reason to bringing guys like this, he gets the blame for me. But even though I will say one thing, I have been told in regards to Drinkwater. I keep making the point that he's going well. It's probably 99% sure that he will be getting sold in the summer. I've been told that he's not very happy at the club. He's always got he's like a sour grapes in training sessions. I don't know if I even said that before, but yeah, his attitude and I don't know I don't know the full details, but all I've been told is he's like a sour grapes.
Well, I'm happy to fund the Uber to get him out of this club. I'm more than happy.
Yeah,
exactly. Yeah, we can make like a Patreon for him. A Patreon to only drink water. I like how you're drinking water in his name as well.
Yeah, I know. Honestly, I've got a splitting headache. I don't know what it is. I might have to go to the doctor tomorrow, but yeah, man. But yeah.
So we got Jardim, we got Tuchel. And by the way, regarding Tuchel, I don't know what the situation is with him and PSG, but I was reading an article about how he fell out with Dortmund and also the Dortmund board and also the previous club he was at. Is that not a risk, him coming here when Conte had a similar issue with the board?
I mean, that's a good point you're making. I was going to be releasing that video on him, but there's kind of like no point releasing it now because he's not going to be joining us. And I don't know. I mean, I don't know.
It's maybe nearly confirmed that he's going PSG.
Yeah, I mean, if people want me to release it, I still will. If you just want to hear about him for fun, but he's not going to be joining us. I've been told, I said in the video today too, that the offer that Paris Saint-Germain put in for him was just ridiculous. So we couldn't even compete really. So it looks like he'll definitely be signing for them. But yeah, that was one point I was definitely going to address too. Even though his footballing philosophy is very good, and in regards to his in regards to how he conducts himself, I don't think I'm phrasing it properly. It feels like we're going in that, it'd be like going in for Mourinho or Conte in terms of personality. If he doesn't get his way, expect there to be a lot of disruption at the top. And I'm surprised that Chelsea, seeing how he left and how he ended things badly with Dortmund, would have just gone in for a manager of like a similar personality. Not only that, it wasn't as if he was close with the entire squad as well. I heard he had favorites and friends with certain players, but not with all of them. I don't know. Even though he's a great coach, and who knows, things could have been different. This is what I mean. He's had a sabbatical. He's been out for a year. He's still a young guy. Probably has grown as well. So it's not fair to say that he's still the same guy. But if you had to just base your opinions on prior history, then you have a case then.
Yeah. So your first choice manager, Jardim.
Yeah, I like Jardim. Like I said, I've always said I don't really have a preference as long as they play good football. I think Jardim, just from a logical point of view, I think he makes a ton of sense from just like a analytical, cold, logical point of view over other managers, in my opinion. Easy to get. He's someone, I wouldn't say he's a I mean he's a yes man, but there's nothing wrong with being a yes man because he only cares about developing the players and focusing with the players he has at his disposal, which I think is commendable, especially today. He's got confidence in his abilities. Players always like him, so and he's not going to be too expensive as well. And he's probably very close with Mitchie, so
yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
I mean, from what all the reports I've seen so far, it seems like we're going more towards Luis Enrique's side than the whole Jardim side.
The Luis Enrique thing, I don't know. I feel like I've covered it a lot. He's just expensive. There's no way you're going to sell Conte, and there's a reality I'm going to be addressing tomorrow. But I mean, I'll make this small point now. There could be a massive reality that Conte will take a sabbatical for a year, meaning that you have to pay him during that year if that's the case. If he doesn't find the right club to manage, then what's he going to do then? Take a year out and assess his options for next season.
Yeah, I think we had to do a similar thing with AVB when he left.
It costs even more money, so I can't imagine Chelsea would be happily pay that, and then then pay 15 million for Enrique, and that's like buying Jardim and his wages for two seasons. You know what I mean? I don't think it makes any sense to do that. Yeah.
Okay. So because I know that before the talk was Tuchel or Jardim. Those look like the two most likely candidates. I mean, if not Jardim, who else is there? Because it seems like we're kind of putting all of our eggs towards that one basket of him. Personally, I wouldn't even mind seeing someone like Rodgers come in. which may sound a bit insane to some people.
No, it's not. From a philosophical point of view, I mean, we're at a point now where we need to transition to a new style, and anytime you transition, you can't expect success in your first season. I mean, Pep Guardiola is probably one of the greatest managers ever. It took him at least a season beforehand before he's winning with Man City this year. And even seeing how they've struggled in certain games, especially certain big games in the second half of the season, they're still a squad that is, still growing, still getting better. They're not even the finished article just yet. So I don't think fans, I keep making this point, we have to have realistic expectations. A new guy comes in, he's just going to need some time. I think next season's going to be perfect because there's no real pressure for him, So I think
I agree with that, but at the same time, when you look at the squad we've got, it's not like we've got a weak squad. We've got nearly the best defense in the league.
Yeah.
We've got players like N'Golo Kante. We've got Hazard. For me, it's a case of there's only one or two people missing, and we can compete for the league again, and we should be trying to win it. Are we being too what's the word?
Pragmatic or
yeah. I'm not saying that I expect us to win Premier League next season, but having said that, I do expect us next season from the kind of squad we got to be competing for all types of trophies. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I agree. That's what I mean. I think we still will compete. I don't think we'll win everything because I don't know. I'm just seeing it from the point of view where, if a new style is coming in, which we haven't been used to for a while, there's a lot of players in the squad that I don't think suit playing, expansive attacking football. So a lot of them will have to be moved on. And it's not realistic to expect that we'll get rid of all the players we need to get rid of. It doesn't happen in football. So this is why I mean, just to get the squad, just to get the squad you want could take up to 2 seasons, as we've seen with Pep, for example, and Mourinho during his second spell as well. So I think they will obviously compete. I think we will have a trophy or, maybe just a trophy minimum next season. But I think we'll be seeing progress for what to expect for the second season. I mean, with Mourinho, fans and people, it's like Chelsea fans have no patience with Mourinho in his first season coming back for the second time. It was just literally the same thing for him. He kept saying, "Oh, next season we're going to win the league, we'll compete." That's what we did. So,
I think that transfer window was probably the best transfer window we've had because we got literally the people we needed. Courtois came back and we kept him. We got a left back, which we never ended up using him in the end, but we got Fabregas and then we got Diego Costa.
Exactly.
And then unfortunately the season after we got like Papi Dijaboji. But
yeah, let's not even get into that. But yeah, exactly, man. Patience and yeah, I think that's what we need now because we need even that season, we bought quite a few players during 13-14, guys like Willian, Salah, who else came? Andre Schürrle. There was quite a lot of them. That's why for the second season, we became winners because we only needed key positions. And we got that in Costa, Cesc, and Felipe Luis. And we had a perfect 11 then, And it's a shame, the type of team we could have been, those types of guys, with Salah and De Bruyne, Lukaku, Costa.
I think we would have had, I think we were hands down, we would have been the best team in the league.
No, we would have.
De Bruyne, Salah, Lukaku, still kept Mata.
Yeah.
I think I'm missing people out. Even Schürrle, I think, obviously Schürrle's not the same level, but I was surprised at the time when we sold him, considering he was banging goals every time he came on.
Exactly, man. Yeah. But yeah, bro, thanks for coming on. It's always good speaking to you. We always have a good discussion anytime you come on. I'm just going to invite the next caller now. But
no problem, man. Good speaking to you all. And I'll see you guys next week.
Perfect, man. See you next week. Take care, man.
Bye.
You guys got the next caller coming in. But after this, I'm looking forward to going on Twitter to see what people are saying about the Juventus from Real Madrid game. I wonder what Italian football TV have done. I mean, they definitely must have a lot to say about this game. So that's going to be interesting listening to them. Okay, but you guys, if anyone wants to become, part of the show tonight, in the description below is my email address. Send me an email if you do want to come on, and then I'll give you the details on email. Or if not, obviously, you guys know that, send a PayPal. That's in the description below. Or if you want to make your lives even easier, make it cheaper, become a Patreon subscriber for $5 a month, and you get access to having, you know, one call in per month, as well as having priority with your, I mean, I'll release a video later this week explaining it. Just waiting for the next callers to come on, and then that's it then. Has anyone sent any super chats? No one has, have they? No one has. Good, good, good. Okay. Okay, just waiting for the next caller. Short caller. Okay, so the caller that should be on now is going to be coming on afterwards. As I'm saying, you guys, if anyone wants to enter the show, you know what to do. Send me an email in the description below, and I'll send you the details. Let me bring on the next caller. That's a freaking thing, man. Okay, the next caller should be coming on now. It seems like this won't be a long live stream tonight. I only have 2 callers on. Like I said, if anyone else does want to come on, you do have the opportunity to come on. There's only 2 more callers after this. If not, then I'll just end it afterwards. And yeah, that's it. Yeah, a super chat's okay. CFC and CFC and Uj. You might as well become a Patreon subscriber. I mean, it works out being much cheaper for you, to be honest. I think, you know, $5 is like £3 or £3.50. So yeah, CFC and Uj, if I was you, just become a Patreon subscriber, and that's it. You get access to all of these, so you don't have to worry about sending any, you know, super chats or anything like that. Everyday Monday. Oh, you're finally gonna come on, yeah? Kendrick, are you answering? Kendrick, no, super chats, that's for tomorrow. The Q&A live stream is tomorrow. That's when I answer people's questions and stuff like that. You know, it's definitely my fault. I don't think I'm explaining it enough. I need to find something better to do in that regards.
Hello, NiiNiifc.
Next caller is on. Alex, if you want to introduce yourself to the stream.
Hello, guys. My name is Alex. I do some videos with Chelsea SW6 from time to time. So, yeah, I mean, couple of things that really made me angry today. One of them was the fact that Juve lost.
Yeah.
The moment Chelsea lost the champion, basically got knocked out of the Champions League, I said, you know what, Juve, they haven't won in a while. Buffon deserved to have that Champions League more than us. He deserves it more. So, you know what, let's try and support Juve as much as possible. I have to say, I'm kind of sad that this scenario happened, that, you know, there was a penalty that was conceded.
Yeah.
You know, Buffon got sent off. And, you know, it's understandable. The guy was emotional. You know, and sometimes emotions can get the better of you.
Yeah.
Every footballer has that scenario. Yeah, but at the same time, I also forgot that my second favorite club was also Bayern Munich.
Mm-hmm.
So at least I kind of have a backup to who to support for the Champions League. But yeah, Now on to Chelsea, I think.
Sorry, what did you think of that penalty decision? Did you think that was a penalty?
It was a light foul. It was light. Look, the foul from his, if it was a foul from, lifting the feet, the foot on him, that would definitely not be a foul. But I think he was also dragged from behind. But it was like a light drag, and so I think Vasquez made the most of it.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
But if you remember also, when we drew 2-2 against Arsenal, that penalty that was awarded because of Hazard, there was a lot of claims that he dived and all that. There is a certain similarity between the two. Mm-hmm. It's in the sense that there were both light fouls, but still worthy to be penalties.
Yeah, I'm trying to remember that Hazard incident. I can't even fully remember straight away.
It was the one where Bellerin, I think, hit the bottom of his foot or something like that. Yeah. I think that's what it was, like lightly, but he just spun out completely.
Yeah, I know what you mean. I know. Okay. I still can't remember.
Look, I mean, it's fine. Don't worry. You can check it out later if you want.
What was your question you wanted to answer?
You know what? I've been actually trying to think about questions, but it's very tough, because over the course of the live stream, we talked about so much that you kind of run out of questions and ideas. And at this stage, I mean, you kind of wonder what the real issues are. Sometimes you can replace a manager.
Yeah.
The problems go away, of course. But sometimes it's also a player issue.
Yeah.
So do you think that it's fully Antonio Conte's fault that this season went the way it did?
Well, I think how I see it is the main issues we've had this year have been down to the system. I think I make this point all the time when teams like Watford and Bournemouth and a lot of these teams in general fancy their chances against us and play a much, very aggressive, expansive pressing game. And normally, when you do play a pressing style of football, you do risk exposing yourself at the back, especially if you're like a limited team, you're not that good in the first place. And you're feeling your chances of getting something from this game are much more favorable when you go for us. Then I really think that tells you everything you need to know about our system. Like, I think yesterday I was looking through all the match reviews I was doing, just looking at the score lines and the titles I've given for them to try and remember, moments this season. And there haven't been many good performances at all this year, barely any. I think some of the standout ones were the 5-0 win over Stoke. I think Brighton, I think 1-0 win over United, Atletico Madrid, and obviously probably Karabat, but Karabat, no one should even care about that, really.
And after, the 3-1 Huddersfield, but I see your points.
That's what I mean. And this is what I have to blame Conte more, because he hasn't really tried to adapt anything, hasn't really tried to change the setup up. I think it's always managers.
No, but I do understand on that end, but it could also revolve around the player personality, because sometimes egos get the best out of, the manager, the egos of certain players. And, we've seen that with many managers, and they get in that stage, they get the blame. Now, of course, I mean, if you look at Mourinho, you look at Conte, yes, they're egotistical managers. They're managers who like to do it their own way.
Yeah.
But at the same time, they do offer a benefit. It's basically they are managers who can win you titles. Mm-hmm. And so I think those type of managers are important for Roman. Mm-hmm. I don't think it's just Conte's fault. I also think that it's also Roman who's pressuring him to win titles. And to me, it's also for big managers. Chelsea is a place at the moment where managers kind of like They either go big, or they die, or they settle in the dust.
Yeah.
You know, AVB, Di Matteo, Scolari. Those are three examples of where managers just went down a cliff.
Yeah.
Conte, Mourinho, no, I mean, beforehand, they had success, you know, so it wasn't really much of a problem for them. And so I think it's basically the direction that we're going from the boards as a club.
Yeah.
That just isn't working for the type of managers that we need to actually win properly.
Yeah. I don't feel that these managers, though, maybe there's a cynical part of me that feels that, I mean, naturally, if you manage one of the best teams in your country, you always have a bigger chance of winning something at the end, you know? I think with Juventus, and I've made this point a lot, again, I could be very cynical, so I'm not trying to say I'm right here, but, you know, you notice managers like him, you know, when you're an ex-player, you know, especially like an important ex-player, and you manage the club you used to play for, you're always going to have a bit of an advantage over other managers in terms of, you know, getting that job. You know what I mean? It wasn't as if he did anything maybe too incredible with Siena or Barry. I know he got one of them promoted or something like that, but nothing too crazy to prove that, you know, this guy is the best. At the same time, I thought that Serie A was really weak during that time as well. That was just after Inter had collapsed as a team and weren't doing as well. And I mean, Roma are like your rivals for the league. That's really telling you everything you need to know. But I just think those managers had their place during their time. But I think with football, things have definitely changed now. It's all about pressing as a unit, counter-pressing. You know, you need a particular set of player. And, you know, this emphasis on maybe playing without the ball, counter-attacking, defensive positioning is very counterproductive these days. And this is why a lot of these guys, you know, like Benitez when he used to be king, Mourinho, Conte, they're not really doing as well anymore, and they're being found out a lot. And they're always going to rely on needing a lot of money to circumvent all their issues. But I think the fact that these guys need to, in a way, you know, buy to get success, buy to have a chance of winning and competing, especially when you're seeing an age where, you know, teams that have less financial resources are doing better when they shouldn't be doing better with the resources they have, then I really don't feel it's an excuse anymore for these managers. Especially, you know, if you're a manager that's got a history of winning things, then you should be able to have, you know, you shouldn't have to rely too much on having to buy your way out of trouble, in my opinion.
Yeah, I mean, that's also understandable, but I think we've come to a stage now where the Premier League is much tougher than any other leagues. So if you win a trophy in another league, that doesn't mean you're going to win a trophy in this league.
Yeah.
So, I mean, you saw what happened with Pep Guardiola. I mean, of course, he was with a world-class team with Barcelona. You know, over there, it's very easy to win La Liga as long as you have the right tactics, the right mentality.
I mean, that's the thing. I've always
you had the players there.
Yeah.
You had. Well, what I'm trying to say is you had the players there. Bayern Munich, you had the players there.
Yeah,
Man City was totally different, though.
I don't know. I don't think it's fair the example people make about La Liga. I mean, we have to realize, you know, for example, the TV rights money that clubs like Madrid and Barca get over every other club in that country is astronomical. It's just not fair. So they've always had those financial resources to compete on a complete level.
Which is why
like this, anytime Spanish teams go to Europe, most of them end up winning trophies or getting far in the competition. So it lets you know how strong the teams are in that league. It's just that with Madrid and Barcelona, with the resources they have and everything behind it, they're like super clubs. They're not even a normal club. So you know, it's hard.
No, I mean, that's understandable, but it's just like when you have a team of world-class players, it's easier to win leagues. That's what I'm trying to say. So for Guardiola to win a league with Bayern and Barcelona, it's fairly simple. To win it with Man City, though, he really needed to change everything at the club. And right now, he's really turning it into a club more like the one who can succeed for the next couple of years winning the Premier League at this stage. Man United, I think at this stage, they're close enough. Yeah. I think they need to have a bit more of an attacking mentality. They need to be defensive at the right time and attacking at the right time. With Mourinho, it's not so much the case. It's either too defensive or too attacking at times.
Yeah.
Compare that to Chelsea, though. I mean, we can compete with them. The problem is with the managers coming and going that we have, I think it's just more of a challenge. You know, I think the expectations are just too high for them, for Chelsea, especially with the players that they have. And, you know, when you have a board, you don't really give you the full backing. It's a bit tougher.
Is that fair to say that not having the full backing? What does that mean?
I mean, compare that to Man City, where the Sheikh is basically, you know, he tells Guardiola, you know what, you can get any players you want. We're gonna be in Dubai and all that. You know, we don't really care. We don't run the day-to-day business. We'll just give you the money to make sure you succeed.
Okay, but let me give this example then. Sorry to interrupt. Let me give, would you say that Guardiola is more of an investment signing than Conte, or you see no difference? Like in terms of the type of club Man City are trying to become, would you feel that Conte is that investment guy that you know, give him anything he wants, or you think someone like Pep maybe deserves to have something like that?
I mean, I do see Roman being more of an investment guy compared to the owner of Man City. Whether Pep is more of an investment guy, I don't know. Or whether Antonio is. I mean, they don't really seem to be as much.
Yeah.
But the fact of the matter is, it's the fact that, you know, Man City don't really care whether the investment or not type of club. I mean, the owners over there, Roman at this stage is basically looking for profits to basically be able to build his new stadium.
I think regards to the stadium, I think we're definitely fine. You know, the club have been doing a lot recently, become self-sufficient, which I think we have become. And you know, obviously Roman still invests here and there. He's doing a lot in terms of, you know, helping to fund the stadium as well. So financially, it's not going to be an Arsenal-like situation where we can't, you know, we're going to have to really, you know, spend within our means and all of that type of stuff. You know, but at the same time, I'm even thinking, you know, did Arsenal really not have as much money, or was that just like an excuse because players didn't want to join them? You know, I don't know. Maybe I'm being cynical.
Yeah, I mean, I don't know either. But I mean, I think it's challenging on that end because you just don't know what's going to happen in the next couple of years. At this stage, it's really going to hang in the balance.
Yeah.
And I think the Chelsea board their direction is really going to define Chelsea's future. Are we going to be a club who's going to become like Arsenal, who are going to finish in the top 4 every time but not win the Premier League?
Yeah.
Are we going to be a club that's going to end up in the Europa League? Or are we going to be a club that's basically going to compete for the Premier League season in, season out?
Yeah.
And to be honest, I think that's a bit tough to know at this stage. But we're basically in that pinnacle moment.
Yeah, exactly. And I think really to become that type of club, I mean, unless we spend like $1 billion, which you probably have to do to compete on that type of level, you know, we need to really have that patience to really do what Man City did, create all the infrastructure for the first thing to prosper, and then invest in that in the long term. You know, you can't get instant results all the time, especially when you're not even near that level. I mean, there's a lot of players that shouldn't be here that we know. It's not going to be as easy as just selling all of them in the summer. You know, football doesn't work like that. So, but yeah, obviously, Alex, thanks for coming. I've got a few more.
You know what? I just want to say one last thing because I know we're running short on time and all that, but I think, honestly, I'm going to say one thing controversial, and then afterwards say another thing where I just want your quick opinion on. Should we sign a striker that basically has the potential, that plays in the Premier League and actually has the potential to actually score a lot of goals right now? Like someone like Harry Kane, someone like Sergio Aguero.
I don't know. Honestly, my personal opinion, I think we should stick with Morata and Mitchell. I mean, guys have cost us 100 million, combined in a way. And I make this point all the time, and I'll keep making it until the next season starts. We're going to have to see next season with a completely clean slate because we'll be playing a different type of football. So we're going to be seeing players playing, and let's say in a way that's going to suit them more compared to what they've had to show. So we're going to be seeing more of players we haven't been seeing, and we're going to be seeing less of players that we thought we'd be seeing perform more. So this is what I mean about transitioning to this new style. It's going to take time. You're going to need the players for that, and this is why you need to just invest in that type of strategy.
Yeah, because I mean the thing is that about Harry Kane, which is different compared to Sergio Aguero, is that he hasn't won a trophy at Tottenham yet.
Yeah, but think about Harry Kane. Chelsea put 100 million bid in for you. Are you really going to be thinking, "Oh, I'm going to leave Tottenham to join a club that"?
Join a club who's actually won trophies over the last decades compared to a club who hasn't really won much.
If Kane was available on the market, then other clubs would go in for him.
Yeah, but not only that, but not only that, also it's a wage issue because right now they're limiting the wages at 100,000 a week. Chelsea could easily go in and say, you know what, we're willing to actually pay the wages you want. So if Chelsea go in first, they could be on top of that. But you know what? It's a long shot. We don't know if it's going to happen. I mean, Tottenham might not even agree. So I think that's more like just a hopeful scenario. Secondly, you talked about all the youth, Loftus-Cheek, Jeremy Boga and all that. My last question is this. Do you want us to turn into a team like Tottenham that basically bring in youth players into the squad to basically develop more, like the likes of Harry Kane, Dele Alli, Danny Rose, those type of players, and have a scenario where it's more challenging to get the Premier League title?
No, I mean, I definitely agree with that at all. I mean, I kind of see it like this. For example, let's say if Tottenham had their current model with no wage structure. You know what I mean? Imagine what they could be doing without that. Reports and rumors are coming out next season that potentially Levy could be changing how he sets things up, which is pretty obviously scary in terms of competing for Champions League spots. But this point about with youth, it means that you can't win. I don't understand why Tottenham became the example of that, to be honest. But
well, I mean, in the sense that
Tottenham don't lose because of their young players. They lose because not all their players are as good as what people say they are, in my opinion.
Well, I mean, Tottenham at the time when they had Kane in their first season and Ali in their first season, they were decent players, but they weren't the type of players that were 2 years, 3 years into experience, like really that they are now, And so it would take 2 or 3 years for them to develop properly into this club before being players that,
That's harsh. You were just making the point that with Kane and Ali, it took them 2-3 years to see what we're seeing now. But at the time, even 2-3 years beforehand, we were still seeing their qualities. I mean, Kane's always getting nearly 30 goals a season. Ali's been getting double digits. I mean, the only thing we're seeing this season is that the overall game has been getting much better as well. We're seeing Ali being able to, drop deeper a lot more than he's used to. We're seeing Kane become a much more complete forward in terms of his whole overall game. And I don't know. I don't think that's. I never liked that point that with you. It just doesn't really.
So in that case, would you hope that Chelsea introduces 1 or 2 youngsters into their starting 11 next season?
It makes sense that I'll end this last one before I bring the next caller on. I mean, look how many years Tottenham struggled to bring in a top striker. I mean, they spent how much money on Soldado, 30 million, or was it 28 million? And Adebayor cost a lot of money, as well as high wages as well for both. And then, ironically, the guy that cost them nothing ended up in 1 season outperforming what these guys have done 2 seasons, 2 years. So this is what I mean. It's just about the team. It's how you play together. I feel because we don't really have these strict restrictions that Tottenham have, we'll never really compete with them in a way. You know what I mean? So I think we've got a few players like that come in, playing alongside some of the other players we have. In a way, it's stopping. I mean, Tottenham don't have to, let's say, ever have to waste time looking for a striker now because they have one of the best. They don't have to waste time looking for someone in Ali's position because they already have him. They don't have to waste time looking for a left back, or certain positions because they develop them to a point where they're good enough now to be first team players. And Chelsea, we could do the same and then use our money to just focus on buying top class players to complement them. That's what it should be. That's what we should be aiming for.
Yeah. All right. And I guess on that end, I mean, you would love to see Loftus-Cheek being in the starting 11 next season.
Yeah.
But would you? I mean, very quickly, last words.
Okay.
Callum Hudson-Odoi, yes or no for starting 11? Just say yes or no.
It's starting 11. I'd have to say no because he has our players in his position.
But if Hazard left,
it's not happening though. It really isn't. I don't know why people keep worrying about that. So.
No, but if he does,
worst came to worst, then yeah, because I'm thinking there's no one on the market. I mean, that players in the left hand side as good as that. The only replacement would be Amares on the right.
All right. Well, listen. Thanks for letting me coming on. Yeah, I mean, I guess I'll see you later. And yeah, I mean, it's been great being on the show. I mean, it's tough to get on your show sometimes, say these type of things, because sometimes you have thoughts that come in, other times not. But, I'm sure we can easily discuss more later on.
Later on, 100%.
Yeah.
Cool. Thanks for coming on.
Yeah. All right. Ciao, man.
See you later, man. Take care. Okay, got the next caller coming on, Josh Banks. Okay. My Snapchat, I need to get a new one. So until I make a new one, don't even worry about Snapchat. Okay, but the next caller should be on pretty soon. Then I've got another caller afterwards. Okay, cool. Yeah, honestly, Alex wasn't that bad. He's his past like 3 have been much better to a start. So, he brings up a lot of interesting discussion points which you can debate upon. So, I don't think he's as bad as how you guys make out. I'm just waiting for the next caller. If you can hear me, Josh Banks, all you got to do is just click the link and it should take you straight on. Cool. Let me send one more link. But I'm hearing that Buffon's been really angry about today. What's he been saying? Okay. Sorry, you guys, 1 second. Okay. It's happening. Okay. Next caller. Send me. Okay, Anuj, if you can hear me, I've sent you a link on Twitter for you to come on. So yeah, if you can hear me, bro, obviously just click the link I sent you and that's it. Okay, CFC. And I'm really need love. CFC is going to be coming on any second. Okay, what you guys saying? Arsenal's wearing a tie. Damn. All right, Nini is half Ghanaian, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah, I'm half Ghanaian. Yeah, I'm mixed race. I'm half Ghanaian. Hey, Everyday Monday, I replied back to your email. You haven't replied back to me. So so check your email out. If you can hear me, yeah, check your email address because I replied back to you. Okay. What makes you think he's half Italian? Nini, do you pay for a call? Hey, J Mojo, yeah, you got to pay for a call, man. If you go to the description below, you'll see my email. Send me an email and I'll send you the details. That's the best thing. I mean, in the description, it has all the details there. So yeah. But yeah, you guys, as I'm waiting for the next caller to come on, you know, if anyone saw that earlier upload, but I had to re-upload, obviously, I apologize for that, for having to re-upload it. Obviously, you know, anytime I record, I get really frustrated when I make mistakes or I keep making the same mistake all the time. And I can be very harsh on myself. So, you know, it might sound kind of mad of like, you know, like someone see my reactions, but like my normal saying for myself anytime I am frustrated is calling myself, you know, a bitch ass negrito. You know what I mean? So obviously no one was supposed to hear what I said in the earlier one. I would have left it, but I was just too embarrassed. So I had to obviously take it down and re-upload it again. So if anyone saw that, obviously apologies for that. Okay. CFC Anuj, what's sorry for the delay, you guys. My bad. Okay, let me bring on the next caller instead. New. Okay, set everything up. Perfect. Okay, Josh Banks will be coming on. I'm going to send him a link. Okay, 1000% for next week. Oh, CFC's on. Okay. Okay, perfect. Perfect timing. Literally, most perfect timing. You good, man?
Yeah.
You're looking forward to that McDonald's, yeah?
Yeah.
What do you order?
I'm waiting outside, innit? So
Are
I
you
can talk a little louder today.
Oh, God, perfect, perfect.
Yeah.
So what's on your mind? Obviously, introduce yourself to the stream.
Yeah, I'm CFC Anuj on Twitter. And yeah, basically that's it.
Basically, that's it. So what's on your mind then? What do you want to talk about?
The sorry links. The Seri link, sorry.
Oh, Seri.
Yeah, from
Seri.
Nice.
Okay. Yeah, and excited by it.
Yeah. I think he's a very good young. No, he's not young, 26.
Yeah, like he's like, you know, he's kind of older.
He's starting to, yeah.
Yeah, exactly. This is the thing. I've got a video coming out tomorrow in regards to basically it's a manager that we spoke to last week. Now, I'm sure that a lot of you guys saw the video I released on Jardim today. I was stressing the point about obviously the boards maybe wanting a more marketable manager. And this manager that they spoke to last week could fit the bill. Now, this is, when you hear the name, obviously you'll be surprised because nothing's come out yet. But I've been told that so far he's like the number one at this moment in time over Jardim, which is crazy. And this is why I can see why Jardim's getting a bit frustrated now. But I'm going to talk about Seri tomorrow because I think Seri makes more sense, like in regards to this new manager that we're trying to bring in. So I don't want to say too much about. I mean, Seri, he's the type of player that controls the game, dictates the play. He's the type of guy that he plays more than 100 passes. To me, it's like a Cesc Fabregas replacement. So I mean, with this team manager, maybe he might keep both, or maybe Cesc might be moved on. Which I've been hearing things like he could be getting moved on in the summer. So Seri could be the perfect replacement for Fabregas. Hello.
So
Yeah.
Sorry. So is Tuchel done to PSG?
Yeah, it looks like it's not happening. It looks like he's picked them, so I think they'll finalize it at the right time for them. But I think they offered him a crazy deal that we couldn't compete with. So that's why he's joined them. So Tuchel isn't coming anymore. And sorry, you guys, that's why I'm not going to release the podcast anymore because there's no point now. Yeah.
Give a little hint in it about the manager you're talking about. You can't.
Oh, it's just going to be out tomorrow. It's not even too long. Think about it like this. Obviously, you'll have your McDonald's here, and then you'll be going to bed, and then it'll be the next day just like that. So it's not going to be too long.
What about Drinkwater? Is he going to stay or not? Because Telegraph reported that he's going to leave in it.
Oh, the Telegraph? When?
Yeah.
When did they report that?
You know Matt Law?
Yeah, I know Matt Law.
Matt Law was like, he's getting frustrated in it.
Yeah. But when did he report that?
Well, it's the Daily Telegraph, innit? So
yeah. But what day? Was it like...
Yeah.
What, yesterday?
No, I think it was today, yeah. No, today.
Oh, today? I swear down. I didn't see that then. But yeah, exactly.
Yes.
It's most likely going... like I said earlier, I've been told that he's kind of like a sourpuss at the training grounds. I don't have any more details other than that, so I can't say if it's because he's not getting along with players or he's not enjoying his time there. I mean, he clearly isn't, and it looks like he'll definitely be leaving next season. So I mean, this guy was our 4th record signing, which is mad when you think about it.
Yeah,
he's already going.
That's a waste of money, in my opinion.
Waste of money, waste of time. We wasted time. How many times have we renegotiated to bring him in? 4 bids we made for him before we signed him.
What about Bakayoko? Will he stay?
I have a feeling he will. Because
Monaco wants to re-sign him, apparently.
I mean, bro, I need to tell me where you're finding these links.
Telegraph, innit?
I mean, of course, Matt Law, he's the correspondent. He knows a lot about the club and that. So he is very reliable, I mean, yeah. But who knows? I mean, I don't know. Who honestly, I'm not too sure about that, to be honest.
Yeah.
Mad. What else is on your minds before your munch comes?
To be honest, when I come on the streams in it, I don't really know what to talk about in it.
You just get excited to come on.
Yeah.
Okay, I'll ask you something then. Okay, What are you feeling in regards to obviously next season? You feeling optimistic? No. What manager do you want us to bring in for next season?
I'd say like a Jardim.
Jardim, yeah?
Because he plays youth in it.
Yeah, exactly.
And plus, what about Luis Campos? Any news on that?
Nothing at this moment in time. Everything I reported in that video a while ago is still standing as it is at this moment in time. So yeah, just need to wait until they secure it. I'm guessing, if I had to guess, it'll probably be at the end of the season, especially in Ligue 1, So I think that's what they're waiting for.
Do you think that any transfers will be completed before the World Cup? Because
I wouldn't be surprised. I mean, we've got a history of doing that. I honestly think there's one. I keep saying it all the time, but I do see us bringing in Leon Bailey. I just kind of feel that that's the big guy that would be one of the big signings for next, for next summer or this summer. I mean, you know what I mean. So it'll be interesting. But I keep stressing there's a lot of players that are going to be leaving. I'll ask you this final question: What type of players do you want to see moved up? Like, who can't you stand? Whose face do you don't want to see in a blue shirt?
I'd keep Gary Cahill out because he's he's a leader in it for the dressing room.
Okay, that's probably the first time anyone said that, but yeah.
I'll move out Jude.
Okay.
I'd move out.
Well, you like his bids?
Drinkwater.
Yeah.
Who else? Who else you got? I can't really think in it in my head.
What about Pedro? He's in or out?
I think he has to go. Yeah.
All right, what about Courtois? You're not out for Courtois.
No.
No.
I think he's the best goalkeeper in the world.
Yeah.
I think he's underrated. You know.
You know what
He's
Booth
won.
yeah, you know what Booth said today? He had his top 5. His top 5 was Edison, Ter Stegen, Neuer, and who were the other 2? It was 2 other ones, but De Gea and did he say
Courtois.
Navas? He didn't even have
He didn't say that.
Courtois as top 5, but
Yeah.
he's old, so what does he know, you know?
Yeah.
That's it, man. But yeah, bro,
Did
obviously,
people realize
yeah.
that De Gea's positioning makes the save look good, isn't it? Like sometimes his
Yeah, it
position is
makes
so
a big
bad.
difference. No, that is a good point. Obviously, how you're coaching training ground in that, it makes a big difference in terms of how you're going to perform on match days. So, I mean, yeah, that is a good point. That is a fair point.
But anyways, I need to go now because my food came in.
The food came perfect timing. Okay, bro. All right.
Yeah.
I'll let you know about the ticket for the semi-final, and I'll let you know.
Yeah. Thanks.
All right, cool, man. In a bit.
Yeah, bye.
Cool, man. Okay, I've got the next caller, Josh Banks. I think if you can hear me, I've sent you an email with the link. So that's literally it then. Okay. Hey, CFC, I think you're. I think my man's still on by accident. Oops, got ejects. Okay, waiting for the next caller to come on. Like I said, every day Monday, I replied back to your email, but you haven't replied back to me. I'm still waiting for you to reply back. Okay, what's everyone saying? Has anyone sent super chats? I don't think no one has. Okay, 2 people have. You real nice to this guy. Harain Campbell, appreciate that, man. And Aka Wetman Spencer, what a name. You want to come on? Yeah, man. It is like $5 to come on the show, just to let you know. So obviously sorry for missing out on that earlier. And Harain Campbell, obviously say for that super chat, bro. Appreciate that. Okay, just waiting for next caller to come on. Honestly, I don't even know what's happened this week. Like, my throat is sore as hell. Like, my lymph nodes feel proper swollen, and I've got a splitting headache. I'm drinking water, been taking medicine. I think I might have to see doctors tomorrow or something. It's just getting annoying now. Okay, let's wait for the next caller. Come on. Okay, I think he'll be on soon. Sorry about this, you guys. Apologies. I think the callers will be on not too long from now. NiiNiifc, I'll be on Patreon soon. Yeah. Honestly, there's literally no rush. I mean, even in regards to Patreon, I still haven't updated everything yet, which I need to do. I just haven't found the time to do that yet. It's been, hectic. Of course, I got the first videos for the Patreon subs I'm releasing probably on Friday or Saturday. I still have that to release today, so I've got a busy week. No rest for the wicked, as they say. Green tea, yeah. I actually need to get some. What I've been drinking? My mum's been making ginger and turmeric, so I've been having that with hot water. It helps, but I think I need to go to the doctors, to be honest. I think. Okay, see Chelsea fan from Switzerland. Hey NiiNiifc, hey MP, you good man? Mohamed, Lukaku, Salah, KDB, Cuadrado, all of them played for Chelsea and they didn't get their chance to shine. Now where are they? They are world stars while we buy guys like Drinkwater and mediocres. 100%. Josh Banks, check DMs. Yep, I'm on the DM now. It says off air. Oh, that doesn't make any sense. Sorry. Seems to be some technical difficulty for some reason. It shouldn't be off air because I'm still on. Hey Josh, I've sent you a new link on Twitter. Just click on that and see if it does come on. It should still be fine, to be honest. Do. You know, no. Do. Come on. Okay, I'll email you that link again. Okay, copy. Okay, copy. I mean, Google Hangouts. I mean, I know it's free. It's free from obviously Google, but it's just not good enough, really. I need to definitely find a better way of doing these calls, you know, because so many times when I send links to people and they're on their phone, it doesn't even take them straight to the stream. Like, it takes them to some next different route, so it can be frustrating. Exclusive vids. Okay, sorry you guys. Come on, bro. Okay, is it coming on? Still not working. What's your info? Can I call you if you give me your email? Okay. My email, that should be okay. Sorry. I think there could be some other callers coming on. I've got a few questions on my email. For everyone that's emailed me, I have replied back to you. So check your emails and you'll see that. I'll probably do maybe 2 or 3 more callers before I call it a night, to be honest. Hopefully by 1 or something like that, it should be fine. Probably end it. Blanc has been linked with us a few days ago. To be honest, for everyone that's watched videos of mine, I've been speaking about us looking into Blanc a long time ago. So if I'm speaking about interest in Blanc from a few months ago, that's 1000% an old story. So maybe that reporter just heard it for the first time, or maybe he just doesn't know what he's talking about, you know. So yeah, I think that's that could be realistically, that could be the case. Okay. Oh, have I got some? Let me have a look. Everyday Monday. Oh shit, every day. Okay, I'm sending you the link now, man. You know what? I didn't even get an email confirmation. That's what I was looking at, because normally I have my emails up, and anytime something new happens, I get I get an email. So shit, I'm sorry about that. Oh, the email just came right now. Okay, that makes no sense. That's a piss take. Obviously, Everyday Monday, apologies for that. I'm sending you a link now. Josh, you still having any luck? It's not working. I'm not getting the link. Shit. Okay. Okay. Oh, okay. I've got a call. You're already in a video call. This is making no sense. Okay. It's telling me to leave the call. All right, everyday Monday, I'm going to be sending you a link right now. Like I said, man, apologies for that. Literally, the notifications just came out right now. Where's my guy's email? Where's my guy's email? Boom, where is my guy's email though? Okay. Hey, every day, if you go to your Patreon, you're gonna see a link. So if you click on that link, then it's gonna take you straight to the stream. I'm trying to find you. What was your email address again? Okay, Mads. Where is it? Where is it? Yeah, everyday Monday. If you can hear me, I've sent you a link on the Patreon. I'm trying to remember what your email address is. I'm sorry. Like, fucking hell, what's wrong with me tonight, man? That's in bare long, bro. Okay. I think that's my guy actually. Okay, I've sent a link on the email. Okay, I'm gonna answer a few questions as I'm waiting. But everyday Monday, I've sent you links. So if you want to come on, then obviously let me know. Okay, Nakeem, heavy metal football. NiiNiifc stressed. Yeah, I am. I don't know. My brain's working slow tonight. NiiNiifc, are you wearing Juventus's shirt? Yes, I am. Obviously got to change it up every now and then. Tiggs, yep. Any news on next video? Loving the content, appreciate that forward thinking. And tomorrow there's going to be another video coming out, so definitely keep your eyes for that. I'll probably release it at the same time between 5 and 6 and 7, something like that. So yeah. Oh, come on. Like I said, everyday Monday, if you can hear me, I have sent you the link, bro. So it is, I've sent it to you by email, and it's on your Patreon message board as well. So if you're still here, if you can hear me, obviously apologies, because the notification came out really late. I didn't even realize that you had sent me anything. So I honestly just didn't even see it until not too long ago. Okay, mystery manager Arsene Wenger. Imagine if it was Arsene Wenger. I wouldn't buy a season ticket, to be honest. I wouldn't waste my time. Okay, so Brian, thank you, Brian. I'm gonna send you an email now with a link. I'm gonna wait for everyday Monday. Hopefully he's still on. I hope he hasn't left. Obviously, I hope that's not the case. That would be annoying. Okay. But yeah, Brian, if you can hear me, I've sent you a link. So yeah, man. Okay, Lucien Favre, he's a very good manager. He is a very good one. Lola, that Jardem quote is quality. Okay, what did Lola say? What did Lola? Yep, I'm mixed race. I am mixed race. NiiNiifc is white with black hair. Fair enough. Mystery Man is AVB. NiiNiifc did mention China. Oh, you guys are really speculating hard now. It's definitely not AVB. Imagine if it was, though. That would be mad. But Brian, if you can hear me, I've sent you an email with a link. Literally, all you need to do is press the link and it will take you straight to the stream. You guys, can you see Everyday? I can't see Everyday Monday on the chat. I hope he hasn't left. That would be annoying. I hope there's no issues with my Google Hangout, because one caller was having a lot of difficulties coming on. It's not making any sense. Darn it. It's pure stress in this stream tonight. Oh. Like I said, I've sent the email, so I've sent the link with the. Is anyone getting this? Brian, perfect. You're on.
What's up, man?
Hey, man, you good? Thanks for obviously becoming a Patreon sub, and yeah, obviously thanks for supporting the channel. But what's on your mind? What do you feel like talking about tonight?
Well, you mentioned Leon Bailey earlier, and I've been thinking about this guy for a while now, and he's reminding me a lot about in 2013, I guess in 2012, when Hazard first came in. There were so many clubs looking at him that when Hazard decided to join us, it almost felt like a blessing. Do you think Leon Bailey could have that same feeling when he comes to us? Like he could be that player that just becomes phenomenal over the next 6 years or so?
I think with Leon Bailey, I think he definitely can. I think his form for Bayer Leverkusen in the Bundesliga this season has been amazing. It's getting better. I think he's definitely going to be in the Bundesliga team of the season. And this is progression as a player. I mean, it's just rising and rising. I feel that it does make a lot of sense to sign him now to beat future competition for him. He does want to. I mean, he's got a bit of a history with Chelsea already in regards to obviously, having his trial sessions with us. His dad had a working relationship with, people behind the scenes as well. It makes a lot of financial sense for him and his family, as well as obviously his sporting career in signing us. And I think if he was to play on the right-hand side, which I think he would do, that's the exact type of player that we do need on the right-hand side. Someone like a Robin in a way that can cut inside, is very direct. I think I looked at a stat. I think from 63 shots, he scored, I think, 9 goals, which is like 1 goal in every 6 shots, which is, pretty impressive for his age. So, yeah, I think this guy's the next big thing.
Yeah, for sure. I think he's just ridiculous sometimes. He reminds me a lot of Robin, but a bit more flair.
Yeah,
if that makes any sense. I was just thinking, if we sign Bailey, I was just curious what your thoughts are on keeping Hazard. If signings like Bailey are going to be the type of players we need to sign to show that the club has some serious ambition, what other signings do you think Chelsea might start to make to reflect that possible shift in transfers?
I mean, that's a very good question. There's one player I've always wanted to see. I know I sound like a broken record box, but Riyad Mahrez, I really rate him. I feel he's the type of guy. I mean, he's shown Leicester. I thought he was the main reason as to why they won the league in the first place. I think he's someone that can really help to improve the team. In midfield, I feel that we do need a midfield player. I think Ruben, he can definitely become a standout for us in midfield. But if we were to sign someone, I don't know. I like a Thiago. I really feel that Eden Hazard is at his best when he has someone to link up with. Now with Leon Bailey, he's more of a winger. He's not really gonna, play in the central positions in the. And hello. Hey Brian, I think you just. Oh, you're back on. Perfect.
Yeah.
But yeah, I've always thought Hazard excels when he has that guy to play with, and I think a 4-3-3 would be great. And if you had someone like let's say a Thiago in that midfield someone that's able to break the lines and link up with Hazard in those areas, I think that can make a lot of sense.
Yeah, I agree. I think we've always mentioned box-to-box midfielders. The last time we really tried to go for one was Pogba.
Yeah.
But obviously that never happened.
Mhm.
And there's such a rare breed nowadays. It's hard to find players that are so good at shooting, passing, but can also put in a good bit in defending as well. A player I've been looking at this season, I'm not sure how to pronounce his name. I think it's Milinkovic Savic, something like that.
Lazio, Milinkovic Savic.
I'm a big fan of his physicality. I know it's kind of his first season breaking out, but I'm curious if you had any thoughts on that guy.
He is very good. Again, he was very good last season for Lazio as well, especially in regards to their cup run last year. Again, he's very good. You know, very very good physicality, underrated skill on the ball as well. Really, you know, good at driving and he's got a bit of a threat as well from distance. But again, I don't know. I really just feel that with Ruben, I think he's one of those rare midfield players. You know, in that same bracket as Milinkovic Savic and Goretzka and Rabiot and players like that, where I feel that we could save a lot of money if we just had the patience to really give him the game time. Because with Ruben, you know, he's able to drive with the ball. His first touch is exceptional. He can start attacks. He can win his 50-50s. As he gets older with more experience and the right manager with him, I feel that he can become a complete midfield player. And I think that we'd be saving, I mean, tens of millions, I mean, probably 50, 60, 70 million. I think Milinkovic Savic would cost probably 50 or 60 if he was available in the summer. I just think sometimes we'll, you know, develop Ruben and then we can use that 50, 60 in other positions.
Yeah, that's a good shout. I think, I want Ruben to be in the first team next season, depending on how, if it is Jardim or Jardim.
I'm not too sure. I think Jardim.
I say Jardim.
Yeah.
But if Jardim does come in and he runs what most people think of 4-2-4, I think a player like Ruben would be fantastic in that two-man midfield, especially since he spent a decent season. Obviously, he got unlucky in the second half of the season with Crystal Palace, but other than that, he's had a really good season, showcasing his ability in a midfield and a really defensive, physical side. I think his experience, even if it's just one season, as opposed to another foreign player coming into the league, might give him a bit of an edge. I would like to know your thoughts on. Let me see. I've got a list down here.
Okay, perfect. You came prepared.
Let me see. Just give me a second. Okay, so Ruben's kind of like one of those players that I desperately want to be in the team, mostly because we've got so many lost players. I don't need to go on about that. But we've got a few players that aren't lost yet, but they're not on the team anymore. But we do have buyback clauses. Obviously, not all of them. We would utilize that buyback clause, but I would like to know if you think any players do deserve to be bought back.
Okay. Oh, so you mean like in regards to like NiiNiifc?
Right.
Yeah. I think NiiNiifc, his reputation has definitely grown this season. Again, I've always felt with someone like that, if he's coming back, he prefers to be, I don't know, actually, maybe Chelsea could be thinking, well, maybe if we sign this guy back, we can sell him in the same summer window, you know. I mean, it's very cynical, I know, but the reality is we'd be making a profit and Aki would be playing for a much better team. Again, I don't know. I always thought that with Aki, I don't really see too much of a difference between him and Rudiger. I'm going to sound crazy, I know, but I really think they're the same, like, defensive frailties I think they both possess, you know, maybe leaving their line a bit too much, crosses coming underneath them too much. Rudiger does that same thing, and I haven't really seen him improve on that as the season's gone on. I think they're both amazing at playing cross-field passes. I mean, we've seen Aki do that a lot already. I don't know, but I don't think he'd necessarily come back to get a place in the team. So I don't know. I think NiiNiifc would be someone that we'd be hoping to make money off, you know.
Right. Well, what going off,
do we have?
Yeah.
Buyback, yeah.
Traore.
Yeah, Traore, I think he definitely needs another year. He's been doing very well at Lyon, but I think for big clubs to look at you, you need to get past 16 goals in the season. You need to really take the league by storm.
Well, going off of those guys, obviously we have a gold mine of loan players right now. For a manager like Jardim, who's able to kind of mine for those hidden gems, do you think he'll come into the club this season? If he does, obviously. Do you think if he comes in the club this season, he'll look at all these loan players we got and take a serious look at some names that maybe we haven't taken a serious look at over the last couple of years, and maybe give him a surprise
I mean,
squad?
Yeah, I mean that is a good shout, and it makes a lot of sense logically. But it is hard. I mean, I'm taking into account that there is going to be a World Cup, meaning that a lot of players will be joining the team late during pre-season. Obviously, Jardim is at Monaco already, so I can't expect him to know too much about everything in regards to all the players we have out on loan, all the youth players we have at the club as well. Within that, such a short time period, that's the only thing I'm scared of. So, thinking like that, it makes me think, I mean, logically, is there a big chance that a lot of guys in the loan army would be given a fair chance? I mean, who knows? Maybe Jardim might decide that everyone is going to join for pre-season, but I mean, you can't bring everyone.
Right.
You can only bring like a certain amount.
Do you think there's a fair chance that guys like, I'm just trying to think of players that won't be in the World Cup, like Van Hinkel, who might be training in the squad in June, well, maybe the latter parts of June, who might get to maybe get a little bit of a edge because they'll spend more time practicing before the other players get their resting period after the World Cup? Do you think there's a bit of a vacuum for players to try and show off themselves as players?
Yeah, another good point. And yeah, I think that there definitely is an opportunity for that to happen. But in regards to Van Ginkel, what do you think of him as a player?
Oh man, I was a huge fan of him when he first came, when Jose got him. I think it's probably one of the biggest crimes to Chelsea in the last few years that he got injured so early in his career at Chelsea. I think what he could have offered to the team is very similar to, I mean, what we got used to over the years with Lampard. And I mean that in a very minimal way. Obviously, not many players can attest to Lampard, but I think some of his qualities, a bit physical. Maybe when he first started with us, wasn't that physical, but for a player his age, he was relatively physical. Really very good shooting, decent finishing for a midfielder, good passing ability. And one thing that I've started to notice in all of his loan spells is he's become a bit of a leader at any club that he seems to go with. Maybe not so with Milan, but there's many reasons for that. But he's at the PSV right now. Obviously, he was with Vitesse for a while. But I noticed that vaguely looking upon like social media accounts, stuff like that, he seems to have a bit of a following no matter what club he goes to, and seems to be a bit of a leader in a very short time period. I think we need more players like that. I would like to have, even if he's not in the first team, would like to see more players like that in a squad role.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I mean, again, you're 100% right. I've always felt, obviously, Van Ginkel is only on loan at PSV, but he's become the club captain. So I think that speaks volumes in regards to his leadership and what he expects. And I can kind of see why Mourinho wanted to bring this guy in when he joined the club, because, I mean, he's been so unlucky. That, I think, was a cruciate ligament snapped, I think, during one of his debuts for the club. So that's what really affected him. But I remember Mourinho gave him, I think he was regularly coming on as a substitute. So he obviously liking what he was seeing. With Van Ginkel, he is a box-to-box player. Most of his goals have been from penalties. He hasn't scored as many compared, outside the box. I think half of his goals are penalties. I think, I'm not too sure. So he scored 8 goals from open play. But which is still, still impressive. By the time the season ends, we'll probably have more than that.
Right.
But again, it'd be interesting to see. I personally think maybe Van Ginkel makes more sense in a 3-man midfield where he has that freedom and license to push forward and get forward. I think in a midfield too, you need to have more discipline. I don't think he'd, you couldn't have Van Ginkel not playing to his strengths, not attacking, not getting in the box. His best qualities is his ability to make those late man runs in the box. And that's what makes me question his future at the club. If we play a 4-3-3, has a big chance, but I don't know how likely it is that we will be using a 3-man midfield.
Yeah. Yeah, that's totally fair. People, I keep seeing people in the chat earlier, at least, talking about how they want Christensen and Zuma to be the two-man defense next season.
Yeah.
I can understand that absolutely. I just wanted to get your thoughts. I think Zuma's fantastic, but I just wanted to get your thoughts because 15-16 season, people love Zuma. He was part of that title-winning campaign. 16 was it? No. Year before that, 14-15.
Yeah.
15-16 obviously had a bit of a slump. Picked it up when Hadink came in, but then he got injured, obviously. And this year for Stokes been a bit of a just get fit, and then when you come back, we'll assess you. What do you think? How do you think he's done this season? I really haven't been able to take a fair look at his games. I haven't been able to watch many of the games. How's he been this season?
Well, he's been Stoke's best defender. The thing is, because he's playing for Stoke and they've been so poor, it's going to be hard. And no one's really going to assess his individual performances, but he has been one of the most regular players, and the Stoke fans really love him. So I think that's everything you need to say. Shawcross said in an interview in December, so like 4 months ago, that he feels that Zuma is one of the best defenders in the country. And for Shawcross to say that, who's older than him, much more experience, etc., that he rates him that highly, obviously says a lot. And I think with Zuma, I think he has the potential to be the best out-and-out defender. I think someone a bit similar to Zuma is Davinson Sanchez from Tottenham. I think those, maybe Bailey is probably in that same bracket as well. I think with Bailey, his position can be a bit too. He's got like a bit of a Sergio Ramos craziness to his game,
right?
But with Zuma, I honestly think that he is pretty complete in terms of what he can do. I mean, I think he's the best guy aerially in the league.
Oh, for sure.
Jumps like Michael Jordan.
He's a physical monster.
Yeah, it's crazy. It's crazy. And I think that his defensive positioning was always pretty good too. I think it makes sense to have him and Christensen becoming the future. I really hope that's what we're going to do. It's going to cost us nothing. And that's our back line sorted for the next 10 years. I mean, they complement each other. They've both got pace. They can both play good in the air. It's very rare to get that type of thing. I mean, we're looking at defenders in the market today. Van Dijk being worth 75 million is a crazy amount of money for a defender.
Right.
That's like half of their money from Coutinho just went on Van Dijk, which is crazy to think about. I think that this guy's got a future. As I said in the video, Jardim does rate Zuma very highly. That's the thing. People behind the scenes always rate Zuma highly. So it's good that a lot of our fans still remember his performances, especially, 14, 15, 15, 16. But he was the first choice defender for us. But
he kept Gary Cahill out of the team.
Yeah, he did. So, I mean, he did this at 20 years old.
Yeah.
I don't understand why.
He was playing better than John Terry. It's kind of like how Christensen was earlier in the season, where he was just showing up to all of our experienced defenders, making it look easy. Obviously, he's had a bit of a slump lately, but I mean, I can't fault him for that. I can't
fault him, exactly. I just can't understand why. I mean, was Zuma's injury really the key reason as to why he wasn't playing?
I don't think so. I think that all comes down to just his play style. He's a bit more physical than he is what do you say? I guess technically gifted.
I don't know. I've always thought Zuma's technique is pretty decent. I mean, he's comfortable pushing the ball forward. For Stoke, especially when he was playing on the right side of a back three, he was constantly pushing the ball, carrying it into midfield and starting attacks. I really feel that's an underrated aspect of his game. He's much more technically gifted, and I think it's because he's very dense. He weighs like 200 pounds.
Right. I think that kind of bundle that all in and what I mean by not technically gifted, where he's not like our flair type player. Yeah. Because I mean, if you're in a two-man Mourinho defense, you've got to be a ball player. You can't be a stiff defender. Although,
yeah, you're right.
Cahill did a decent job when Mourinho was at the club.
You know what? Cahill didn't really play as much under Mourinho, really.
No, I mean,
he didn't like the
Yeah. 14, 15, he played a bit at the beginning of the season, but then Zuma took over and it was over for him there.
Yeah. It's quite funny that Conte was the first manager to really make Cahill like the first choice defender. I feel that, I don't know, I've always found that kind of funny. I mean, there's been so many managers in charge that I've never seen Cahill as like the first choice defender, but Conte was the first guy to see something.
I'm curious if it has anything to do with John Terry leaving at the end of the season, trying to get Cahill kind of used to that captain role, which obviously isn't really filled that well.
Yeah.
Maybe there was a bit of a pressure from the club to get Cahill as the main man, but I think we know now that it's just not really.
Yeah, fizzling out. Yeah, exactly. I mean, I was told before that they were planning to use him more this season, so Cahill could get that place,
right,
with the England national team. But I think with how the season's gone on and just really got being better on the left,
right,
he's just lost his place, and it's gonna be. I don't know. I will keep this at the last question, but I've always wondered what type of club are going to sign Cahill next season.
I can't see. Obviously, I can't see it being a top 5 club. I don't even think like an Everton side would, because they've spent plenty of money on central defenders the past 2 years.
Yeah.
If I were to guess it, I mean, I could maybe see Burnley going for him, because Burnley have been on a good. They've been on a good spell lately. They might need a bit of a sign next season.
That'll be like the biggest ever player they've signed. If they
right,
Cahill, that which says everything. So.
I do think that whoever signs him this summer, if he goes, will get a steal, because he'll probably go for relatively cheap. He's what, like 30, 31, 32?
I think he's older, 33, I think.
33, so yeah, even older than that. So yeah. he's getting to the latter parts of his career. I think whoever gets him will get a good deal. But I think for Chelsea, he's met his end.
Yeah, he's met his end now. But yeah, thank you, Brian, for coming on, man.
Yeah, sure, man.
Speaking, and really appreciate you being a Patreon sub. This Friday, Saturday, I'm going to be releasing the Patreon early video, so stay tuned for that. I'll be sending you messages later on this week. But thanks for that, man.
Care.
Thanks, man. See you later. Okay, Everyday Monday, I've sent you the link for the stream. So let me read what you said. Yo, Nini, do I have to stay? Oh yeah, you can. No, you can. Okay, Everyday Monday. I'll probably make that the last caller for tonight. Okay. Oh, okay. Okay, cool. Actually, Everyday Monday, you'll be the last caller tonight. I've got one more coming on. So yeah, I've got 2 more and that's it. Okay, sending an email. Boom. Matting. Hey, man, you good?
Hey, Nini.
Finally, perfect.
Yeah, it's finally sorted.
It's been a struggle tonight.
No, my Mac's just been completely fucked. I have no idea what's going on.
First world problems, I know.
Yeah.
But what's on your? If you want to actually introduce yourself to the stream.
Hi, I'm Josh. As you can probably tell, I'm American, so don't slate me for that like crazy. Yeah, I'm just a Chelsea supporter and just pissed off generally with this season.
Yeah, speaking for a lot of us. But what's on your mind for tonight? What do you want to break down and talk about?
Firstly, I want to talk about Michael Oliver earlier today in the game. It's how I don't understand how many times we're going to see in the Champions League Real or Barca just going to be favored continuously. It's just a joke at this point.
Honestly, the amount of decisions they get in La Liga, it makes no sense.
It's not. It's UEFA don't care though, because UEFA is corrupt, so they're not going to do anything to fix it. It's just a joke at this point.
Yeah. But you know what though? I kind of think. I mean, if you looked at Real Madrid's performance tonight, I mean, of course you did, but
yeah,
let's be honest, they do cheat a lot. You know, they do dive, they do fall down very easily.
And it's the Madridista school of acting.
Yeah, school of acting, you know, and I really feel, you know, people might, you know, I'm thinking like people might say referees favor them, but I kind of feel it's like a psychological thing. You know, if you're constantly, you know, trying to fool the referee and dive and cheat and go down from the easiest of, you know, smallest of touches, I kind of think it's like that psychological aspect where the referee's thinking, well, I can't always ignore their pleas all the time. I'm going to have to give one decision eventually. And I think that maybe in regards to, like, you know, the game nearly ending and then, you know, big moments happening and stuff like that, I think maybe that could play a part in terms of how they influence the referee. I don't know.
Yeah, I think it's also the referees are just generally terrible, especially when they're being crowded and they don't have any idea how to react, so they just go with their gut decision, and their gut decision is usually incorrect.
Yeah.
So, and I also feel that it's no surprise that Murata does this for us all the time. Like, yeah, his back plays into it, but it's like you're not going down all the time because of your back. It's like you're feeling a tiny bit of contact, and then you're saying, "Oh, time to fall to the floor now."
Exactly, because if this was Real Madrid, he's getting all of those fouls.
Yeah, exactly. There's a difference in refereeing standards. I feel like in Spain, their definition of a foul is a different definition than an English foul.
Yeah,
English foul is like knee in the back or something, whereas Spain, a little tug on the shirt and guy falls down.
Yeah, exactly. I think that game against what game was it with the referee? Yeah, the Man City game. He was card happy. Yellow card here, yellow card there. I think he was a Spanish referee as well. But I mean, with English referees, I think Klassenberg he summed it up. Remember, I think a few months ago he was interviewed because I think he's refereeing in Dubai now or something like that, and he was speaking about refereeing that infamous game against Spurs where we drew 2-2. And they should have had 3 players sent off, and they were just
Dembele is a cheat. I hate Musa Dembele.
Yeah, exactly.
What he did at the end, it's just disgraceful.
Yeah, of course. And he was basically stating that, well, the reason why I could have given Spurs red cards for what they were doing, but I wanted them to know that it was their own fault for losing in a way. And I thought the logic was just idiotic.
These refs always make these excuses, but the thing is that at the end of the day, they just make their own rule book. It's just completely ridiculous.
Yeah, it gets on my nerves. But yeah, I mean, Clattenburg, he's basically saying that I think the mentality of English referees, if you look at the bigger picture, and I kind of feel that they feel this whole point of letting games flow all the time, it's ridiculous. It's no wonder they miss.
Because then what's the point of having a referee?
Yeah,
there's no point in having a referee if you're just going to let the game flow the entire time.
Exactly. I think
you're going to have Roy Keane breaking your leg. Just let the game flow.
Exactly. And you know what? It's actually perfect that you're on, especially after a game like this. If you guys don't know, Josh is a referee, and what's your opinions on that controversial decision at the end?
It's completely a joke. You can see Vasquez. You can see Vasquez is initially starting to fall as he's like he knows the contact is coming. Mm-hmm. So he's just like he's already started to fall before the contact came. Yeah. So it's like, why are you giving it if he started to fall beforehand?
That is also a good point. That is because when the ball was coming to him, he was kind of like bending
down. He was falling over as the ball was coming to him.
Yeah. So any contact.
Exactly. Bonaccia, right? Is that the guy who he literally went like that, but like just barely touching him, and he tried to hook the ball, but he was like, it looked bad because if anything, Vasquez's chest, fell right into Bonaccia's leg. It's not like he kicked him; he fell into his leg.
Yeah, I know. I mean, it's a shame. I mean, it hurts. I mean, that's the thing. I'm not even a Juventus fan.
Yeah, I'm not either. But like after being screwed over by UEFA so many times, I mean, a Rebo, like.
Yeah, I know.
It's like you feel for other teams now because it's just everyone knows it's Real Madrid Champions League all the way because Real Madrid they just treat the Champions League like they treat La Liga. Yeah. It's just ridiculous.
Yeah,
so easy for them.
Yeah, exactly. I'm praying to God it's not going to be a Real Madrid Bayern Munich final. I don't think it'd be, especially seeing what Roma have done and what Liverpool are doing.
I don't
get to the final.
I don't want Liverpool winning it because I can't listen to people running in my ear about how we're the but I don't know. Out of the teams left, I'd say Roma winning it would do justice to us finishing second in the group.
I think so. Mm-hmm.
All right. Moving on, in terms of Jardim, like he's my personal favorite. I would want him to get him. So who should be brought in, if anyone, to incorporate? This is assuming he plays a 4-4-2 next season.
Yeah.
And use his 4-4-2 system appropriately.
Yeah. Now here's what I'm thinking. Obviously, the beauty of that his 4-4-2 system is how he uses width. For example, with the can't really call them wingers, but let's say like the wide attacking playmakers, they receive the ball out wide, but then they move infield when they're on the counter attack. And really, it's the fullback's job to act as like the wingers in the team. So because of that, you need to have wide players that are able to, have like playmaking abilities, as well as obviously providing a goal threat. And this is the thing: if you got Leon Bailey, he's more of a winger, he's more direct. But again, the beauty of Jardim is that he is very adaptable. So if he can't do what he prefers to do, then he can adapt his system with the players he has. But I think to fully utilize that, I think you'd have to sign Amares on the right hand side, because I keep saying
I was thinking that as well.
Yeah, he's a 2-in-1 type of player. He can do the playmaking stuff as well as scoring goals. Up front, I think Mitchley and Marshall could work.
I was also thinking that. I think even though Morata's been here a season, it's like, even if we get 40 for him, I know we're taking a financial loss, but honestly, get this guy out the door at this point.
You know what? It wouldn't be too crazy because, when we sign him, normally with these deals, you pay over like 4 years or something. So most times...
We're only paid I'd say like 80% of it. We still have like another 20% that we're paying off to Real over time.
Yeah, exactly. So that's what I mean. So it wouldn't even be too much of a financial hit in that regards. But I have a feeling, the club want Morata to stay. He probably will stay, even though he's not happy at the moment. But I think once Conte is gone, there's going to be a lot more happier faces next season, to be honest. I think he could work in a Jardim system for sure. I think he can definitely provide something.
Yeah, he could. I think the player that everyone's always slating is Moses as well.
Yeah.
And this is moving on to the left back, right back situation for next season, because in a Jardim system, that's also like critical. I'd say if you look at the Spurs game, for example, people are always slating Moses' crosses. Now, I know we don't really want to talk about it because we got battered, but when we went 1-0 up, it was solely because of Moses. Mm-hmm. That cross he put in was a very, very good cross.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
It was a very, very good cross. And you've always made this point about Moses with space is a much better player.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I think people are mistaking what Moses is bad at. Moses is not good at beating a man one-on-one. His crosses are good, but when it comes to beating a man one-on-one, he's not good.
Mm-hmm.
But I'd say with a system like Jardim, if you get him in space, he's going to whip in a good ball. We haven't seen much of Emerson, but the signs are promising as well, especially because of his pace that he's shown.
Mm-hmm.
And it's really promising for that. But
yeah, I agree. We're seeing, obviously they had Mendy, and they've got before he got injured.
It's Sidibe as well.
Yeah,
right?
Sidibe as well. And this season, obviously, before he got injured, that Brazilian left back, I think Jorge, something like that.
Yeah.
And he was getting better and better as the season was going on. When you look at these types of players, they all have the similar attributes. Very fast, tenacity in the tackle. They get to the byline, as in they're comfortable beating a man to get forward instead of having to, pass it back into midfield and do all that type of Alonso stuff. And I think that Emerson can definitely do bits for next season. I think that's one player I'm really excited to see, because I know we didn't get Sandro, which I'm disappointed by, but I kind of feel with Emerson in the next, he's only 23, in the next 2 years, he could be a pretty exceptional left back.
Yeah, he definitely has the potential to be. And I'd also like to see youth players challenging for the left back positions. So I'd like to see Emerson starting, but Jay Da Silva constantly pushing him so he's not comfortable. Yeah. And then in terms of Moses, I'd love to see Reece James challenging Moses, because Reece James, if you look at this guy in games, he's just amazing. He's getting an assist every game.
Yeah, exactly. Crossings. Yeah, people always say this, but they think he's the best crosser at the club. I mean, you see the types of balls, his technique for it is just crazy. Again, but there's a possibility. Would Zappacosta be there? I'm thinking, let's say if he wasn't, maybe this guy from Porto, Ricardo Pereira. This guy was amazing for Nice last season. He's been doing good for Porto this year. Who knows? As competitive, I don't know. But I agree with you. I feel that Moses is very underrated. And you know, this point I make about next season, we'll have to judge the players differently in regards to it being a clean slate because we'll be playing a new style. We're going to be seeing players looking much better and certain players looking worse because of the new system. So I think, and I make this point again to Danny Rose. You know, of course, he used to be a winger before he became a fullback, and he used to state, no, not he used to, he stated that it took him 3 years to feel comfortable playing as a fullback. We forget that, you know, it's still an education. It's still like a learning progress for these players. Moses has been playing there for 2 years. Let's say next season he turns it all around. Now he's got more space. You know how fans are. They change their opinion so quickly.
Yeah. I think fans have jumped on Moses a bit too much, but like personally, like I know it's a personal opinion of my dad and I, but like the player that we jump on the most is Morata. Like we've had a lot of broken television remotes just bashing the remote because of Morata. It's
what
so
game in particular? Well, when was the first time you broke your remote?
Let's see. Oh, I think it was United at home.
Oh, wow.
Even though we won, I remember Morata just looked like Bambi on ice running at Smalling. So it's like it's not exactly hard to beat Smalling. It's like it's the United version of Cahill, basically.
Yeah, you're right.
And he went in and out, and then he just fell over the ball, and it's just like what the. It was so frustrating. Yeah. Oh, another thing I'm looking forward to for next season is I think what's going to rip teams to shreds for a Jardim system is the fact that we're going to have, if say we potentially get Mahrez, and Moses in a 2v1 situation versus that poor soul at left back. It's just
it's not going to be fair. It's not
exactly. And then Hazard. Say we play Hazard and Emerson against, like, I don't know. Say we play Leicester and have him against Danny Simpson. Come on.
Yeah, I know. And I think with one thing in particular with Jardim, which we can't forget, is that I think we'll probably be up there with Liverpool in the counter-attack, or even better than them.
Yeah, I know. I agree.
Because the amount of goals this team score, and the beauty of this system is that, let's say if teams try to defend deep in their own half, because you're playing with like these two playmakers, as well as having your fullbacks playing like wingers and having two up front. I mean, you know, you do create a lot of possibilities. So, I mean, there's a reason why Monaco, imagine they've lost all of their best players. They've signed a lot of players aren't as good as the guys they've sold, but they're still second in the league. And that's purely based on how he develops these guys and the system. But I think that's the exceptional thing about him.
Yeah, another thing I have is, could a player like Isco or Thiago potentially work alongside Conte in the 4-4-2, or would we just prefer to have Ruben there?
I think for the 4-4-2, I don't, because that's the thing. They need to kind of keep their positions a bit. I know Monaco last season, for example, let's say if Baka was pushing forward and Fabinho, a bit deeper, but it wasn't as if Bakayoko was allowed to constantly push forward. That was only on the counter attack where Fabinho had to drop deeper because, you know, Fabinho used to be a right back, and I think it was only was it last season or a season and a half ago he became a midfield player, and you can see how that makes sense because, you know, he's able to drop deep in his natural position. But I don't know. I don't think that. I think with guys like Thiago and that, because you need to really allow them to have the freedom.
It's not exactly like Mourinho.
Exactly. And this is why I can never see someone like, let's say, Thiago signing for United. So to play DM alongside Pogba, like, come on.
You're
the most skillful defensive mid partnership, but I mean, you know, I don't think they want to play that role. But I don't know.
Well, if we played 4-3-3, I definitely think that Isco or Thiago should be a target. But and I know money will talk, but it's like Europa League. They're not exactly going to want to downgrade from like Bayern Munich or Real to like. I think it probably, if we were to get either of those players, it'd be more realistic for like 1920.
No, 100% agree. And you know, you obviously get the point I'm making. You know, next season will be a bit like a transition year because we'll be adapting to new styles and getting rid of players from the squad. So I think certain players like that, you're right, maybe 1920 is more
I
realistic.
don't really know, because if we play a 4-4-2 next year, I can just see our team just ripping the league to shreds. Like I could see us, like, that's another thing I am worried about. Like, say we do really well, like compete like properly for the title, challenge until the end, like lose by 2 points or win it possibly.
Yeah.
If we win, I'm worried we're gonna sit back on our high horse and do nothing in the transfer market, because it's like we have these good seasons, but then we rest on our laurels and we don't know what to do, and we're bringing in 40 million drink waters because the board don't know that, like, the board think about money rather than the footballing aspect, I think.
Yeah, no, you're right. That is a worry, but at the same time, Jardim he doesn't have an ego. He is very demanding. And I kind of feel the style of football he would implement, I don't think he'd be asking for a lot of players to strengthen. He's kind of someone that he just accepts players given to him instead of really. I'm sure he probably says maybe he wants a player in this position or that position, but I mean, even then, a lot of the players they signed, I mean, that Ronnie Lopez, the guy that was at Lille, the guy from Man City's academy, he's replaced Bernardo Silva on the right, and he's been looking, he's definitely been growing as the season's gone on, and he's looking promising. I think that George A guy was signed not even in the summer. He was signed. He was already at the club beforehand.
Yeah.
So most times, a lot of these players have just been promoted into the first team, and to think that they're still challenging. I mean, this is what I mean. This is the type of manager I feel that he would be ideal to sign, because with how the board is, I think that he'd be like not even a stopgap. I don't think that's the right thing to say, but he'd be the start of a positive direction for the future.
No, I agree. You've brought up this point in your videos before about how this is kind of a transition period and we're implementing the style.
Yeah.
So if we're implementing the style and we're still winning, like, say Europa League next year or FA Cup, when this manager, because I'm like, knowing the board, the manager's not going to stay for over like 4 years, but we're still going to have this system.
Yeah.
What's the plan from there on out? Like, are we going to bring in, what kind of manager would we bring in if we want to really challenge, basically?
I don't know. I think with Jardim, he's definitely a winner with what he's won things already.
Well, yeah, he's won Ligue 1 and he won the French Cup that year as well, right?
Yeah. I think so. I can't remember, to be honest.
He also got to the semis of the Champions League. Yeah,
exactly. And I mean, obviously unlucky against the defensive Juventus team.
Yeah.
But, that's what I mean. He's definitely someone. I mean, he's got players. He's got a better defense in midfield than he had at Monaco, and you've got Eden Hazard. That's always going to be an advantage, So I think he's definitely got a better platform to build from compared to doing that same thing with Monaco. So I think he could be a great manager. But by the transition thing, I kind of feel too that, let's say Jardim ever left, if he was to sign, let's say he left 3 seasons after, that means that the next manager we'd sign would kind of complement what we're doing already. He wouldn't just be a new manager with a completely new style. You know what I mean? That's what I'm happy about with the next managerial appointment, because if he ever does go, it's going to be like this continuity where we can still keep flowing and the direction still going to the same place. Because too often, every time, this has been the issue with us this past, since Abramovich took over, every manager we sign has their own ideas and there's no continuity. It's always different manager with this, different manager with that. And then it's no surprise why we can't compete every single season.
Yeah, I think the reason, though, that it's like Abramovich has come out and said, and so is like Drogba's come out and said this before. Well, why are like people criticizing Chelsea in terms of getting managers in and then shipping them off 2 years later? Abramovich has openly come out and said, like, it works, so why does it not matter? And so is Drogba. But the thing is, the only reason it worked is because Abramovich was personally like taking care of this manager's needs.
Yeah.
Whereas now he's recently stepped back and he's put it in the hands of Marina, who's not an easy negotiator. So it's a lot harder. So we have to think a lot more about our stuff rather than just saying throwing in 200 million and then we'll get this person.
Yeah, I know. I think what helps too, obviously, yeah, that was one of our best ever periods in the transfer window when we signed guys like Drogba and, you know, guys that stay at the club for how many years. Not many players we've signed have stayed for more than, you know, let's say 3 or 4 seasons. So that definitely helps in terms of the continuity, because anytime managers try to change things and bring in a new style, they always got sacked, and then we just, you know, the players reverted back to a normal style that they've been used to playing. So I think that's what's always helped us in a way. But now, because we've been trying to adapt to a new style, we need to just embrace it. I've always felt sometimes that we try to, you know, combine everything. We want like you know, the grit and determination and the winning mentality and leadership of our last generation, as well as like the skill and the flair. And it's like, you can't have everything, you know.
My thing is that people are comparing us with who we want to be. Like earlier, people on in the stream have said, do we want to be like a Spurs, or do we want to develop at that level? But my thing is that in terms of this transition period, we need to reinvent ourselves. We don't want to be comparing ourselves with anyone else. We want to just be Chelsea. We want to be known for this kind of stuff.
Yeah.
Barca's known for La Masia. We want to be known for playing good counter-attacking football and just ripping teams to shreds.
Exactly. And I think, again, Jardim could be the appointment to set us for a more positive future. But I was going to say, Josh, do you have any final points you want to make before I bring on the next caller? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here.
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, it kind of glitched out for a second.
Oh, my bad. I was going to say, do you have any final points to make before I bring on the next caller?
Oh, well, I'm saying in terms of, this is just my opinion of who should leave, but a lot of people are saying Cahill instant out. I don't agree with it. Like, never play this guy because he just has no footballing ability. But what I would do is, when we had JT last season, JT, he didn't play, but we had him in the dressing room, and players have openly come out and said that played a big part of us going on to win the league, because the mentality was there. And CD was just terrible. So I think we should still keep Cahill, but just never play him, because I think he'd be really good in the dressing room.
Do you think that Cahill has that type of positive influence in the dressing room? I mean, I'll give you an example. I mean, Joe Tweedy said this to me. He said that he found it pretty telling that when Christensen was going, you know, he's going through his bad form, that he contacted John Terry instead of speaking to Gary Cahill. And he said that to him, that really said a lot about maybe how some of the players see him. I mean, maybe I'm being cynical. Maybe Christensen's thinking, well, you know, this guy's my rival for a place in the team. Maybe it's not best to do that. But maybe he's feeling that he doesn't think, you know, I mean, you know, Cahill is the captain, so really players should be able to go.
Well, I think Christian's thinking, well, we all know that John Terry like openly advocated for Christensen for 5 straight years. And he's kind of like a father figure to Christensen. So it's like, I think that's why he's doing it. Like, he knows Cahill is the captain, but he also, like, John Terry has like coached him and educated him on how to defend in this situation. What do you have to do in this situation? And he's given things Christensen to work on as well. And he's kind of like an unofficial coach for him.
So he's got the trust where he is able to contact him. So yeah, that makes sense. I think it's definitely an interesting point you made about Cahill, maybe, because I kind of feel maybe Cahill would be happy to accept a role like that too, you know, just to be able to say that he's won something, you know.
Well, I mean, he's won the Champions League, but like he's won stuff. But
yeah, right, because next season he is going to be 34, and I think he's one of those guys that'll be happier to stay with a big team instead of maybe needing to play more consistently for a weaker team. Instead
of downgrading to, like, I don't know, Swansea per se.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think, that's a good point. Maybe I'd be open to that. I mean, you know, it's natural anytime, you know, players get their contracts, you know, certain players that are first team players or you know, like high priority players will be getting paid more. but you still need to have backup players in your squads, and maybe Kale could accept a backup role. I don't know. But at the same time, would Kale want to stay? Let's say he's stripped of the captaincy for next season. Would he want to stay? You know, he was the captain, and then it's just like he's not the captain anymore, and it's, I don't know.
Well, I'd say another thing as well. Another earlier point that was made, it was that that Conte was really the first coach to implement Cahill as a starter.
Yeah,
I'm pretty sure the reason Conte did that and he loaned out Zuma is simply because Cahill has experience. We all know Conte. Like, Conte wanted to sign, what's his name, the 29-year-old winger from Inter, Candreva.
Candreva, yeah.
Right. He wanted to sign Candreva when it made no sense, when we could either target better players who were younger, or we could stick with the players that we had, like a Willian, who could switch onto the left, and Hazard could switch onto the right, and they could alter. And it just, the reason that Cahill is playing is not because of its ability; it's just because of his experience.
Yeah.
And another thing I feel is that Zuma, I think, will definitely play alongside Christensen next season. But a lot of people have openly come out and said, "Oh, Zuma's crap" or something, just because they've seen him like give up one goal at Stoke, when really it wasn't his fault, and it was like the person who wasn't closing down the cross.
Yeah.
The thing with Zuma is that Zuma is probably the most athletic center back in the league.
Yeah.
I'd say. I remember his tackle when we played Arsenal in 15-16. I went mad because it was like he hyperextended his legs so far. He just like completely murdered Sanchez and got the ball off him. It was just like,
exactly. Like, I've always made this point that like Zuma's tackling reminds you of like a Thuram or a Desai. It's always clean.
He
doesn't
he's
foul.
so strong. Like you won't get by him.
No, you can't. And he wins the ball cleanly. He doesn't. That's the one thing I always look at. How cleanly do you win tackles, and how many fouls don't you give away? You know, and Zuma doesn't do that, and he wins every ball in the air, and his positioning's good, and he's a popular figure at the club. You know, I think it's important when you've got guys like that. When you've got a happy dressing room, it's natural that your performances are going to be good. I mean, we've been getting rid of Mitchley and Costa, and then Luis's influence ain't the same, and Zuma was popular. I don't understand this whole emphasis on getting rid of all the popular guys, but I mean, next year, this is why I'm positive these guys can all come back. I'm hearing talks of maybe Luis getting a new contract in the summer, because Roman's always, really liked it.
That's another thing. Luis, if I didn't think about that earlier, we could possibly ship off Cahill and use Luis in that Cahill role in terms of being the leader, because Luis is a much better leader than Cahill.
Yeah,
like we saw him last season. Whenever Cahill was out of position, who was screaming at him to get back into position? That's basically all I had to talk about. So I really have nothing else.
No, perfect. Obviously, man, thanks for being a Patreon subscriber, and man, obviously looking forward to seeing you when you come to the next game.
It won't be for a while.
Not for a while, but just let me know in advance, and then
I will
get something hooked up. And it's been good speaking to you, man. I'll speak to you on Twitter later on.
Yeah, cool. See ya.
See you later, man. Take care. Oh, shit. Okay, I've got 2 more callers. Everyday Monday. I hope you're still here. I've been sending you links through email, but have you been getting them? Are you seeing them, or I don't know what's happening? Okay. And I've got another, obviously, Louis, or Lewis, if you can hear me, thank you for being a Patreon subscriber. Let me see if I can send you, hopefully Everyday Monday is still on. You guys are going to be the final 2 callers. Everyday is still here. And what's he saying? What's my guy saying? Forward thinking, it was unbelievable how the whole thing, I was there, so random. Okay, Everyday Monday, I have sent you a link. If you guys have me on Twitter as well, send me a DM if it makes it easier for you, Yeah, you guys, because I want to send the links pretty quickly. Because once you click on the link, It takes you straight to the stream. So, you know, I want to finish this in the next half an hour. Yeah, it's probably gonna not 3 a.m. I've got 2 more callers. I'm just waiting for every day to click the link. And obviously, Lewis, if you can actually let me send him a link on Patreon. Whoever clicks on first, to be honest. I do need to find a better way of doing this because I still feel it takes a bit too long to get callers on. I need to find a method to make it easier, I feel. Okay, and now my internet's frozen. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I'm back on. Good. Okay, Lewis, if you're here, hey Lewis, if you're here, I've sent you a message. I've sent you a message on Patreon, so there's a link there. If you are on Patreon, obviously click on that, and it takes you straight to the stream. Okay, I'm looking in the chat. Okay, I'm looking. What's he saying? Send it. I swear I've sent. Hey, Everyday Monday, can you send me an email just to let me know if I'm sending it to the right person? Because I've been sending emails. Are you AZ? You're AZ, right? Because I've sent a few emails. Yeah, I'm looking in the chat. What's he saying? Sends. You keep joining, but there's no one here. That makes no sense. Look, give me a second. Fucking Google Hangouts is so dead. It never works. You went on a different computer after the... Oh, this is annoying, man. It says no one's here. That makes no sense. I'll send the link again. Now, let me send the link. Hey, if you have me on Twitter, send me a DM on Twitter so I know. Use Skype. Yeah, I don't think it works because I've got that's the thing. Bro, how can Google not? Use Discord. Yeah, I think I'm gonna have to start getting that fixed for next week, you guys. I think Discord would be easier, to be honest. Bro, real talk. Yeah, I'm getting the emails and clicking on the link, but no one's there. Hey, Josh Banks, if you're still here, how did you fix everything? That's what I'm trying to figure out. Everyday Monday, maybe try and use your phone. Yeah, I'm trying to get him on. Bro, why is this not working? I'm sending the link. Or do it with a number. Send me one more link, man. Yeah, I'm sending it now. That's weird. Why it's not working. Okay, email, copy and link. Copy, paste. Okay, I've sent a link on email. Send me a DM on. Have you sent me a DM on Twitter? No, you haven't. This is annoying. Let me type in Everyday Monday. I've sent you a link on Twitter as well. So yeah, let me know if you get that. Maybe that might make a difference. It says off air. That makes no sense. Is it because I've been on for so long? Does Chelsea need a new? My Twitter don't work, man. It don't work. The Google Hangouts thing is weird. Yeah, Josh, what did you do to get on? Oh, use Google Chrome. Okay, everyday Monday, use Google Chrome. Okay, you Google Chrome, that's it. Oh, perfect. That's calm then. Okay, cool. All right, Google Chrome, and that's it then. Internet Explorer, yeah. I'm surprised how many people still use Internet Explorer, but you know. Okay, so if you open your email in Google Chrome, that should work, to be honest. So that's calm. You know what? I'm going to use the bathroom quick because I'm bursting for real. Yeah, I'm looking forward to Everyday Monday coming on. You guys give me 1 second. Okay. Any luck? And Lewis, if you're still here, send me a message or an email or something. Okay. Is it working? Ina, hey, I'll see you. Good night, man. See you later. Take care, man. Thoven is a right winger, not right wing back. Yeah, I'm still maybe he's downloading it. I swear I'm using the app and it's not working. Dang. That's weird. That is really weird. Let me try and find another way for you to come on. I'm trying to think of another way. So if I have to Skype, maybe Skype. Let me see if that works. You guys have to let me know if you can hear. I'm going to see if Skype calls work as well. That is annoyingness. This is annoying. Maybe if you use that 2323 formation. Damn. That's become a meme here. You're the mystery manager. Had enough. Uh-oh. Oh, bro, what is wrong with my life today, man? So every day, maybe try and use your phone. You're on the app, you said, and it's still not working. Let me see if I can invite people. Okay. Okay. I'm gonna add your email address, and hopefully that does something. Okay. Nini. Okay. Let me see. Let me see, bro. Okay. Okay, I'm gonna send an invite. Let me see if this works. Hopefully it does. Adds name, paste. Okay. Every day. What is your name on Google Hangouts? Yeah, if you tell me what your name is on Google Hangouts, I think I could add you. I'm using my iPhone and the Hangouts app. You know what? Normally, if you're using your phone and the Hangouts app, if you try to click the link from your email, do you have your email address synced to your phone? Because if you do, then that should work, but you're saying that it hasn't been working. But yeah, if Everyday Monday, what is your name on Google Hangouts? Okay, Everyday Monday is going to be the last caller tonight, so there's no rush. You know what I mean? If I have to wait another hour, I'll still wait an hour, so it's not a big deal. Spurs successfully. It's been awarded to Harry Kane. What's everyone's thoughts on what Kane did? Okay, Captain Killanani. Good lords. All right, cool. Oh, Killany. All right, cool. Okay, copy. Hopefully the thing works. Boom. Okay, I've sent an invite to your Gmail address. Hopefully that works. Email address. Nini, who is the most likely person to be our manager in your opinion? You have to watch my video tomorrow, to be honest. That's all I'm saying. I know I sound like some next like long guy, but like, you know, it's best that I just release stuff. It's just like, you know, the press releases straight after, so it's like, oh, perfect, you're on.
Hey man, is it working?
Yes, bro. Yeah, it's working perfect. Okay, so that's how to work this thing. So if I send the invite code, that's it then. Oh,
Yeah, it works better that way, man.
perfect. Hey, it's been good to have you on. Obviously, I read your comments all the time, always talking sense. Obviously, I got to heart them comments and that. But yeah, yeah. What's on your mind today? Like, what do you want to talk and discuss?
Man, first of all, I'd like to say, yeah, it's good to be on here. And shout out all the commenters, man. They're always giving me love, you know what I mean?
Yeah. The comment is actually sick, I can't lie. Like, I think
Yeah,
I've only
man.
had one troll, that Nathan Aki guy, but I think he just left a long time ago. Yeah.
Yeah, but I want to discuss basically the future in it, because this season looks like a write-off. These performances, man, awful.
You still there? Hello.
Yeah.
Today Monday's on. Hey, you're back. Hello?
Yeah,
Yeah, you kind of cut off a tiny bit.
yeah. Sorry, man.
It's
My
cool.
internet is a bit shit. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I hear that, bro. But yeah, but you were saying this season's a write-off. That's all I heard.
Oh yeah, because I'm already like I've already mentally checked out of the season just watching it because it's been so dead. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And I'm thinking for next season. I'm thinking we really need to go hard and go in for a manager like Jardim or Tuchel, someone that more not a CV manager as you like to say. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Exactly. And why are you feeling, obviously, because I'm going to let you talk a lot today, because obviously, you're always talking sense. Why do you feel so strongly about wanting that type of manager to come in for next season?
Just why I think that is because if you look since around 2012, I think like the whole image of the club has changed because before 2012 we really had like players that lasted a whole generation, like 10 years, like Lampard, Terry, Drogba, all of them guys. And they really defined that era and made Chelsea like the elite super club that we became.
Yeah.
So the next transition, the next wave really started in 2012. So you're talking about the signings of De Bruyne, Hazard, Salah, Lukaku. That just like Joe Tweedy was talking about it, that 2.0 Chelsea.
Yeah.
And basically what I'm trying to say, why we need a manager in that capacity is because we need to think really for the long term. And when I mean long term, I don't mean 10, 15 years. Of course I mean that, but I really think to set us up to think about 10, 15 years time.
Yeah.
We need a manager for the next 3, 4 years who'll stay and just be like a Ranieri type, like you said. And then we can go after the superstar names like whoever and these mad scientists like Tuchel and whoever, because I don't think we're ready for these short-term managers right now, as to say.
Yeah, I 100% agree with that sentiment. I think this is why Man City, I mean, I say this all the time, it's almost as if they saw everything that we've done and did the complete opposite.
Yeah.
It's not sustainable, you know what I mean? And they got the right foundation. They got their academy. It's one of the best in the country now, never used to be. They got the footballers. They can attract any names they want now. I've said this point a lot, but I've always spoken about dynasty clubs. You know what I mean? Like
exactly.
Barca, Bayern Munich. That means that the kids that are like 5 years old or 10 years old, they're going to always have aspirations wanting to play for one of those teams. So you're always going to get the advantage. You know what I mean? And I think that's what City could be getting now. There'll be kids that have been growing up seeing Aguero and Silva and now De Bruyne and stuff. They'll be thinking, yeah, we were getting something like that. But then, not anymore now. Not anymore. And it takes long-term planning. You can't just expect to have that overnight and to constantly win every single year. I think that's the direction we need now. I mean, this club, the way it's run so well. The first team just isn't run properly, and I think we need it's not just the manager but the board as well. The board are the most important part at getting this vision to work, in my opinion.
Exactly, and speaking about the board, like I never understood like the hate Emanalo got. Like this guy really, I think it's poor communication on the part of Chelsea because he's just been scapegoated and destroyed and ripped apart. I think it was because of the I don't think we've been able to attract the real top players just because we don't play in that way to attract the whoever's the Dybala who's available right now. I don't think he'd ever choose Chelsea. Let's be real.
Yeah, 100% not.
And we have to build ourselves up to becoming that kind of club again. And that would only happen if we're winning because I don't think Chelsea are a legacy club. Like we're not a Man United, Real Madrid, or something like that.
Yeah.
Because them teams, even when they're at their lowest, if Real Madrid or Man United finish 6th, they could just be like, "Hey, Man United are back. We're gonna do a madness this summer. We're gonna sign 4 or 5 man," and people would hop on the bandwagon and all of that.
Mhm.
But us, really, if you were to do something like that, it'd be like to other footballers, like, "Oh, okay, Mike Chelsea, they've had their time. That's it. They're gone to the wind.
Yeah.
Let's join City. City are the new shiny toy. Rah rah rah. Let's hop on this wave now."
Yeah.
But what I was saying, but what you said is really interesting with City, how they've really looked at what we've done, them sneaky bastards, looked at what we've done wrong and really just tried to improve on that. And it's true, like even the De Bruyne signing, whoa, I was so pissed when I seen that. When I seen De Bruyne sign from City looking like 55 million, 17 shirt, I was pissed, man, I can't lie. And to think 18 months ago he was on our fucking reserves, not playing.
18 months. It literally wasn't even that long, and then he's like triple the money we got for him. I mean, I bet there were people at the board just, I don't even know, were they scratching their heads or like, well, you're probably pissed off they didn't get more money.
Bruv, I spat my food out when I seen that, man. Like these kind of things, yeah, they really like bug me. And anyway, just when I'm thinking about these kind of decisions and the long-term planning, it really, it does piss me off, and I get in the mood about it when I think about Salah and De Bruyne and Ratata, because the fans as well, and this is why I appreciate this channel, and I'm always on here talking my shit, because for years I've been listening to these guys, these 100% whatever. I don't even subscribe to these CFC whatever porn star presenting. Like, we're a mess, bro. We're a mess on the internet, man. Like, we're a mess. Even on Twitter, we've been a mess for years, bro. That's why I appreciate you, because when Salah and De Bruyne were sold, that it was like, oh, he's not good enough for us anymore. They don't want to work hard anymore. We don't need him. And I'm like, what the fuck? Who's playing there? Ramirez out of position, bro. Come on. And he's like,
yeah, I know.
And
you know what I find funny
when
about?
I think back about all of them moments, it's like, oh, I'm so happy for Blue Lions TV right now. And
yeah, you know what I find so funny about CFC Fan TV? Obviously, I think they didn't call me out on Twitter, but obviously, I think they must have made a comment about Conte, and I just said like, you know what I mean? Because it's like this channel were like pro Conte, like he couldn't do anything wrong, but it's like you can't just. How can you change your opinion that quickly in the space of like what 2 weeks, 3 weeks? You know what I mean? You're doing videos saying this guy needs to stay. You're talking, strongly about him. Conte this, Conte that. The players got no passion and all that type of thing. You know,
work rate, desire, passion,
leadership, all of that little stuff.
Fuck yeah.
All of a sudden, these guys are pro Conte out now, as if nothing happened. At least have the consistency, you know.
It's the flip flop, man.
Yeah,
it's the flip flop. It's just, oh my god, like I was really like, I used to watch them a lot, and I was just forced to watch them because there's no other Chelsea content creators on YouTube. We were forced to watch it, put up with these guys. And when I was really done with these guys is, we faced Palace earlier in the season, right? And Palace were awful. 6 games, 6 losses. They took 6 L's, but they held corn every game. They never won nothing. Like Ruben was their best player, bruv, by far.
Yeah, that says it all. Yeah,
and he was not even like, he was like for 1% fit and that. And then the match preview, he goes like, Chelsea are gonna beat Crystal Palace because Conte doesn't lose touch and it doesn't happen in football. And I was just like, nah, I'm done. I've never gone back. What kind of analysis and thought have you really like put into that for you to come to that conclusion? Like, your conclusion really was,
trust me. But you know what it is? Like with them, for me, it's always been like the lack of effort. That's what's always like. I don't even mind the opinions. Like with me, I'm not like an elitist where it's like, oh, this person doesn't know nothing. I'm above them. As long as
there's no effort and thought into it, though.
That's what I mean. It's the lack of effort or thought, because it's just like, there's no excuse for it with like the platform and like, you know, how they record their stuff. It's very easy. It's very quick to do, and it's just like, why don't you care enough to put a bit more effort in just your thoughts and obviously your content? And they don't do that. And
they're in it
honestly,
for they're more in it for the money and the peas because they're seeing the gap in the market. And there's not a lot of Chelsea creation content.
Whenever Sophie's on a thumbnail, that's it. You know, that's the reality. I've been thinking of madness, like, let's say having my girl on and just doing some next stupid shit like that.
FIFA and strip.
Have my girl presenting and shit. Yeah, just FIFA stripping. Exactly.
No, don't do that, bro.
Imagine you know what I found out though? I found out that a lot of people actually search into YouTube Blue Lines TV girlfriend. You know what I mean? I find that kind of funny. That's like one of the most popular searches is Blue Lines TV girlfriends. There's a lot of people here that are trying to like pre my girls. So I find that kind of funny. But I am kind of thinking maybe for like 25k subs, I might do like another fun video or something. Get her on. No strip FIFA, nothing like that. You know what I mean?
She's gonna leave you, fam.
Trust me. But real talk. It's got me thinking with YouTube. If you wanted to be like a proper scumbag, like you got no morals, you're purely in it for the finances and the cash. You can make money. You know what? I remember this one girl, yeah. Now, this is just a random YouTuber. I remember she tried to make FIFA videos. Now, this is like at the start. No, this is during the summer last year. And a lot of her views weren't really saying much or doing anything. I don't even know how I even found her, to be honest. I think it was just, you know, the search week by complete accident. I happened to see another video she released here. It was a strip FIFA video. But you know what? I slightly rated this girl. You know why? Because obviously she brought on her friend. And she must have found like she must have found her most like easily influenceable friend to come on, and she was the one that was obviously getting her behind stuff. And this video got more than like 1.2 million views. So she's just all this.
She finessed everyone,
and it's just like I couldn't believe it.
You should do what was it called? Striptease, whatever it was. And get your girlfriend's friend to do it, you know what I mean?
Just get her, trust me, just do mad. Remember those
girlfriend's worst enemy to do or some shit.
Trust me, your worst enemy is something that my girl, she wouldn't even have it though. She gets paranoid. But yeah,
man.
Bro, it's actually funny. But that's what I don't know. Like, you know that JMX guy, like I don't really mind him. With how this guy got big on YouTube, he just did all like the scumbag content. Like, you know remember back in the day when it was like he used to like pay girls to lip sync on YouTube. It wasn't even that long ago, like a few years ago, you know, content creators would like pay these models to come on.
Yeah.
And it's just like you have to do these like stupid dares, but it's like it was all pre-planned. So
exactly,
like,
and
they're getting money for this. They were getting money for this.
And let's play rock paper scissors, and I'll snog you if I win.
Yeah, oh my god,
10 million views. Oh
10
my
million
god,
views. It's actually. Because it's like you get a lot of these kids, and the more younger kids you got watching, the more you earn on top because they don't even turn off ads. So it's just like, real talk. That's how YouTube had to change things when they clocked that all this shit was getting popular, though. But
should have joined earlier.
I should have joined earlier. Honestly, when I was younger and more of a scumbag, I should have. That would be. But yeah, JMX, like I don't know. In a way, I slightly have to rate. Actually, I can't rate it. Yeah, I can't. I don't know. But it's like, how could you really be a scumbag? I mean, I could be a scumbag. Imagine I just made up videos like, oh, I hear that Messi's going to come next week and that I've got... yeah.
Messi and Ronaldo are coming.
Yeah, and I got the clickbaitiest stuff like fucking some page 3 model and the thumbnail and shit like that. And yeah, that would be funny though. Get all the CFC fans to come. CFC fan TV.
No, we don't want them. No,
we definitely don't. Real talk. I see that comment section, yeah. Now there's this one guy that makes me laugh all the time. all he says here is don't talk to my wife like that. I'm a husband. That's just every single video. Now it's kind of like weird, but it's funny. But it's just
yeah,
like
I remember seeing that.
Yeah, but real talk, I feel bad for Sophie seeing some of these comments. It's just like, whoa.
But she's on Pornhub, man. That's what one guy showed me. I thought they're joking, you know.
Bruh, That's mad.
Posted on. I'm like, no way. And I'm like, nah. She don't mind if little 5-year-olds are saying, yeah, that's my bitch, and that on the comments.
That's mad. Though. But really, I didn't even realize that. Is it like, is it deep, or is it just like,
No, it's
they're violating her to try and like?
as I said, my friend showed me that. I swear,
Yeah.
but I don't think there's any porn of it or anything.
Yeah.
I thought it was just pictures, because all I saw was pictures. I said, fuck that, because I'm not even, I don't find her buff anyway. Like, I don't find her piff like that.
Yeah, I hear what you're saying. But obviously, I wouldn't watch it like out of respect in that. But I don't know. That's the thing is, I don't have anything. I'm gonna sound like I'm like pussyfooting, but I honestly got no issue with them. The only thing is, I just find just the channel in general is just like no effort in the content.
Yeah.
It's lazy. That's my only thing.
Even I don't like them as well. But the thing is, they just, you know, when they're on other people's videos and they're representing Chelsea, like, oh, this has happened. You signed
Trust me.
Barkley for 14 million. How do you feel? And they're like, yeah, Barkley, rah, rah, rah. Chelsea fans feel like, no, we don't, man. Don't lie, bro. We don't want this dead guy from.
Yeah, I know.
And what I want to talk to you about is one thing. Yeah, this is not got any. It does have something to do with Chelsea, but it kind of relates to what I was saying before.
Yeah.
The thing with the passion thing. Yeah.
The passion merchants. Yeah.
What did you think about Gary Neville and Souness? Their commentary on Pogba. Like, honestly, Souness, I was waiting for him just to say, "This monkey coon jigaboo." So I was waiting for him just to say this.
Honestly, I think it was more like Neville. He would have been the one to slip up, to be honest.
No, I was waiting for. I was just like, this nigga doesn't deserve.
Yo, sorry, it's gonna happen. Like, it'll be a matter of time before that comes
They
out.
were so pissed. Even when he scored, they didn't even like cast it. And I'm like, what the fuck?
Yeah.
Like,
I don't know. Like, this Hazard, I'm not Hazard, a Pogba thing. I get
Hazard gets a little bit of it. Like,
Yeah,
Hazard
fine.
is a diva and whatever, but Pogba, wow.
I don't get the Pogba thing because it's like, I see it like this. Obviously, the way he gets his hair done.
Who cares?
Yes, exactly. First of all, who cares? Then second of all, how long is it really taking to get a bit of a fade on the side and just doing this and that? Like, you think, but if you've got like Caucasian hair, you know, you got to get that shit blow dried and washed, and then you're getting it slipped with scissors.
Yeah, and Xabi Alonso.
Dye your hair too. Imagine how long you got to wait for that to happen. You know what I mean? Does it not take even longer? You know what the thing is?
Everything, bruv. Like, it's everything. Like, I'm just waiting for them just to come out and say, fuck this monkey nigga. I shouldn't be laughing.
Yeah,
I swear.
Real
it's ridiculous, bro. And I'm a Pogba fan, but I'm a Chelsea fan as well.
Yeah.
But what the fuck, man? Like, this is everyone, you know, that even I've seen something with Leon Osman.
Yeah.
He's talking about how
shit, that guy Leon Osman. I know what you're talking.
Naby Keita is like Kante. He's gonna bring defensive.
I don't think he's as good as it's nonsense. I know.
It's like such lazy, basic commentary. Like, even Match of the Day, they all do it, bro. Like, that's why I prefer to listen to the streams in America, because honestly, they have, you know, that guy Stuart Holden, who broke his leg several times.
Yeah.
Like, this guy, I was watching the stream today, proper mad analytics on the matches. Like, Marcelo, BT Sport, they're talking about Ronaldo's fucking six-pack, bruv, for 6 minutes after he scored. Oh, look at the curve on the side, the V next to his belly button.
Like, I want to lick it and like. Honestly, I was cringing. I'm not gonna lie. Like, of course, I'm not like homophobic guy or nothing, but like the amount of times I was hearing Ronaldo, it was almost as if like they were the girl in his bed. You know what I mean? It was too much. I'm thinking, you forgot everything Juventus did. When Ronaldo takes his top off, that's it. Oh shit, Ronaldo! Like,
and Rio and his bent lips, fam, and he's like, "Raw Ronaldo, he's done well today.
Yeah,
came
I know,
up with the goods." Fuck off, man. He did
Ronaldo
nothing.
like selfie later, too, exactly. Wow.
Like
I
Rio
don't
was
know.
so happy just to know, and he played with Ronaldo.
Trust me. You know, I don't understand too. It's not as if like Ronaldo responds back to Rio Ferdinand's text straight away. My guy's probably reading it every now and then, and he's picking and choosing when to reply back. Why are you
What
so
did he?
gassed, like?
What, exactly. Like, what did they talk about? Like, yeah, 2008. Yeah, we won the Champions League. Like, move on, bruv. You know what I mean? Ronaldo probably don't even rate him. Like, Ronaldo probably likes Nani and Anderson,
Yeah,
and maybe he likes on the side like John O'Shea, and that's it. Like, he don't give a fuck about these man.
he don't care about you. He's not replying to your DMs. Like, come on. You're not in the group
Exactly.
chat. It's like, come on.
And Rio's posted like
Yeah.
like his biggest twerker on BT Sport with his hand up. Oh,
That's
anyway,
yeah. Real talk. It's just like grown man to you and everything. I don't understand. But
I swear, man, my Twitter, something's wrong with my Twitter, but I'll be tweeting the fuck out of this shit, man.
jump back on.
I'd be-
Honestly, I think Twitter's the best app because I've never been a social media guy. I don't use Instagram. You know what? I'm not someone that takes selfies. Yeah, I'm just not a selfie guy. Like, I'll never do them, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's the thing. Like, when I even started with YouTube, it took me like I started a year later because I just didn't feel comfortable being on camera or nothing like that. So that does annoy me. I wish I started a year earlier. The channel would be like.
No, it's good that you're here, though, because honestly, man, we were suffocated with this bullshit from Louis and all of these guys. Even though, yeah, I respect their hustle, just the basic footballing intelligence, like, it does get on my nerves, man. Like, Sel Hazard, Eunice, I used to respect you this year, and I still do to a certain extent, but the Sel Hazard hate, man. Oh my god, this guy, yeah. He is a generational talent. Just think about it from this point of view. Before Hazard, when have you ever heard of a talent from Belgium?
Yeah.
Ever, like, to that extent. Not a dead average guy like Fellaini.
Van Buyten. Remember Van Buyten.
That 6'7" guy plays for he was playing left back.
Van Buyten used to play for City. He had the long hair and that.
Yeah, for Bayern.
I think that was all Belgium was saying at the time was Van Buyten. So
that's how you can tell if someone's like a generational talent, where they come from. Like, when have you ever heard of an Egyptian superstar like Mo Salah? Never. I've never heard of that.
Yeah.
Belgium. And I just think to them, even if you look at Hazard's brothers, how they play, you can see Hazard has been like touched with something special to say, hey, yo, you're going to be bad at football. Because he's fucking amazing, bro. Like, even comparing to Willian and how they play, watching them live, because I'm going to tell you something funny right now.
Yeah.
I work at Leicester Stadium, King Power. I moved to Leicester 2 years ago. And wow, what a player. I've been watching him for years, but seeing him live, what a player. And I know you're a big fan of Morris. Like, what do you think of Morris? Do you think he should sign?
Honestly, I feel this is like Morris is like Eden's yin to his yang, if you know what I mean. Like, that's what he needs. That's that complete synergy right there. I think just that one player alone improve things to the team so much in terms of the system. It'll be much more complementary. It'll be much more balanced. And I think Hazard has a friend to play with. You know what I mean?
Exactly. And I think, Hazard, he's a guy who knows football and he's not a dumb guy.
Yeah.
But he probably rates Morris. He definitely rates Morris because Morris, like, I've watched all Leicester Chelsea games and he always performs like.
Yeah.
I remember early on in the season when you were seeing Morris, people weren't rating Morris, and I don't even like. I watch Morris all the time because, as I said, I work at King Power. Even I was shocked. I'm a Chelsea fan and I'm a Londoner. So when I come to Leicester and I'm like, what the fuck? Who the fuck is it? Yeah. Who's this guy, bruv? He has this skill, yeah? He cuts in, he does a fake shot, and he rolls his foot over the ball, and 7 men are gone shop straight away, like, they're going to get hot dogs or something. Because I don't know where he does, and he does a crossfield pass to, like, he makes Danny Simpson look so good. Danny Simpson is like a below average defender.
That's actually a sick point when you think about it. Imagine his support is Danny Simpson.
Honestly, this guy, and he takes 4-5 man
Mhm.
Leicester. People say he didn't perform last season. I mean, statistically, he didn't perform to the highest level, but in the Champions League, he was unbelievable. Unbelievable. Against Sevilla, against Atletico.
The bits.
I remember against Porto away, he scored a disgusting free kick, I think, or a curler, top bins. Against Bruges, top bins.
Yeah, top bins too.
I'm saying to myself, when people start rating him, until this January when Guardiola said, "Yo, I'm put a bid in for him." Like Guardiola's word is fucking biblical or something. Like,
you know what's mad though? Let's say Leicester's board weren't pricks, because remember I've been told that with Leicester's board, they're very difficult to negotiate with. They're the type of board where, okay, 40 million, okay, next day, okay, we want 45. Oh no, actually make it 55. You know what I mean? That's why they're so hard to sign players from them. But that's just a random point. What I'm trying to say is, how would Pep have used Morris? I'm trying to think, like, over Sterling. I mean, surely you'd have to play him over Sterling.
I mean, he's flipping 100 times
better than Sterling.
Yeah. Like, let's not get into that. But where would he play? For me, as you were saying before, Morris is a 2-in-1 player. He can easily drop in as a number 8. He's been playing that way for Leicester recently, like during November and December, where he hit top form. Like when he scored that goal against Southampton, against Man United, where he got the ball was bouncing, he ducked under it, Smalling, to stop the momentum from Smalling, because Smalling's going to outpace him. He can't just run in through goal. And then he lays off a volley. What a goal! Like, this guy, I'm thinking to myself, I've always envisioned, like, imagine Hazard with Morris, and the perfect, for me, out of all the strikers in the world, the most perfect one for Hazard has always been Lewandowski. Even though I know we can't get Lewandowski, all that, but in some dream world, I always think this is perfect striker.
Lewandowski,
Morris is the guy, man. Like 40, 35. He was only costing 35, 40 million. I think Leicester, because they're greedy bastards, gonna their quarters. And but they're very nice, man. They're my employees and that, but I can't be talking shit about them.
Yeah, I can imagine. So basically that point about the Leicester board being difficult, that's like a real thing. They're difficult to negotiate with.
Yeah, man. Apparently, like when they sacked Ranieri, it had nothing to do with the squad, and that's like, I don't even understand it. These guys,
because they still got a lot of stick, didn't they? People trying to. I mean, I knew that it wasn't the squad forcing them out.
It was BS, because the whole season, just what they were missing in midfield, like Kante made Drinkwater. He just made him. He bought him a career, and we bought him. Like typical Chelsea. I disgusted as well when we said it. But anyway, the Kante signing, and then the problem was we signed someone, I forgot his name, but he was like a B-Tech Kante, same size.
Oh, there's that guy from France.
Yeah, from Bordeaux. I forgot his name.
Yeah, well, his injury messed him up though.
First game,
injury. From Nice, isn't he? I remember. What's his name?
I have no idea.
I think. Imagine us forgetting his name like that.
He didn't even play. He played one game. I think it was Community Shield, injury, bang. They had no one to step into that midfield role. No energy.
Mendy. Yeah,
Mendy.
Yeah.
No energy, no pace, no nothing. And basically, Ranieri was struggling because at that point, the pressure was on Morris, and teams against Leicester were playing
3 men.
Yeah, they were putting 3 men on him, and they were treating Leicester like a big team. So 3 men on Morris, sit deep. Leicester counter-attacking team. They do play attacking football at times that season, but counter-attacking team.
It couldn't work because what's Leicester's best strength? The ball's to Vardy. Because teams were defending deeper, Leicester had to play with the ball more. They couldn't work anymore. You know what I mean?
Exactly. So,
and you got Andy King.
Andy King. He's like the worst version of like Aaron Ramsey. You know what I mean?
Trust me.
And that was the problem, and that's why people weren't rating Morris. But if you could see, like, so clear to see this guy had 3-4 man on him. Like, what the fuck? Like,
I thought it was, but you know what? This brings up an interesting point because obviously, I think we're in the same boat. We're very critical of the people on TV, especially the pundits, because you're expecting they're the guys that are going to be giving the insight, that are going to be
exactly
making you aware of seeing things differently, but you don't really see that. Like at that point, the nonsense Neville, he was annoying me more than Souness when he was talking about Pogba. It's just like, shut up. You're trying to look for every small thing to stick on him, and it's like, when you just look for small things like that, that's how you know you're like slightly hating a bit.
Yeah, remember Neville? Yeah.
Yeah.
Last season we won the league. He was having this interview with Hazard and Courtois on the pitch. He goes out to Hazard, yeah. Better man, we just lift the trophy. Yo, Hazard, you just scored 60 Premier League goals. Don't you think you should have scored more? I'm like, what? Are you stupid, bruv? You see what he's carrying, fam? Alonso. Like, this guy, I feel like slapping him. And then next, he started talking about the Premier League greats you could follow in his position. Perez, Ronaldo, Giggs. I swear I turned off the TV. I didn't even watch the celebrations. Once he said Giggs, the most overrated footballer I've ever seen. I'm sorry, Morris is already better than Giggs.
Yeah, I kind of agree. I've always felt Giggs is slightly. I mean, he started to get a reputation again when he was playing as a midfielder, but I mean, no clubs have ever tried to sign him. No big teams ever tried to live him.
But say Hazard needs to reach his level. Like, I check statistically, even though I'm not a stats guy, I don't let stats tell me, oh, he's better than him because of stats. Because in my eyes, Mo Salah is an unbelievable player. I don't think he's better than Hazard, no way, but I think he's a great fuck. He's a world class.
Yeah.
But even forget Hazard, if you look at Neymar and Mo Salah, because I think Neymar's a bad boy player.
Yeah,
he's the only one I'd put slightly ahead of Hazard just because of his take on mentality. He will destroy you for 90 minutes, and I don't see that of Hazard, and that's why I think he's a different player. And I rate Neymar slightly more in that way.
Yeah, you know what? I think that's a sad reality I've had to face as well. He's just got that I hate that word instinct, but I feel more confident that Neymar's going to win me a game compared to Hazard. I think that's why I think maybe Neymar's just a bit better than Hazard.
Yeah, it's not like by miles. It's just marginally.
Yeah, just like one or two details.
Exactly, and that's the only attack I'd put against Hazard because Messi and Neymar, them comparisons are completely unfair. Like, I've never liked them comparisons.
Yeah.
This thing where he has to score 60 goals to be considered even a great player, and he's never performed in the Champions League is the biggest lie I've ever heard in my life, bruv.
Of course.
Remember the PSG game? The one away where it was 3-1 where we got banged out and Lampard got done by Pastore the last goal. Hazard, that game was he was the only attacking out there.
Doing bits.
And he was so good, just to watch. They couldn't control him. He scored the penalty. And that is performing. In my eyes, that's performing. The next leg, I don't know what happened. The next year we faced PSG again. He did perform. We parked the bus against 10-man PSG. And this is when I knew Mourinho's finished in my eyes. Even when we won the league.
Yeah.
10-man PSG. We gave Verratti his name, basically. Because Verratti from that day.
Throws him down, yeah.
Verratti really 10-man. He performed, yes. But he really got his name from that day. And I know I'm going all the way everywhere. But wow, man. It's just Hazard, man. That's my favourite player, real talk. I don't care what man's saying.
Yeah,
just to watch.
It's just it's getting a more positive system. I like to be very selective with my words. That's why I always talk about efficiency with Hazard, because people make out that Hazard isn't good in front of goal.
And doesn't score goals.
Yeah, what they mean is that he doesn't take enough shots, because the thing is, when he does take shots, most times they go in the back of the net because he's very accurate. And it's just
exactly.
For me, I've seen it as an education. I think you can use Salah as an example. I mean, we can say that, let's say, since the second, could you say since the second half or let's say the first month or two, maybe he was. I think it took him a while to get very accomplished in front of goal, in the sense that he was getting to make on goal in terms of where he was going to shoot and what technique he was going to use. He was constantly making the wrong decision, and that's why he wasn't very clinical. But as the season's gone on, as he's been getting in those positions more and more, he's been getting much more efficient and clinical. And this is where now Salah, with 1 or 2 shots, can win you a game with it, as we saw last night against Man City. Just that one little dink finish, some amazing goals.
Oh, what a finish!
That's what I mean. And he's become even more clinical. And this is what I've always felt that Hazard can do. And this is what I mean by players developing and getting better. If Hazard's in areas where he's able to affect the goal more, where he's able to be through on goal more and take more shots on goal, he's only going to get more clinical and better. I mean, just as Salah has done this year, and Salah's going to get past 40 goals for sure.
I'm happy for him. Like, one guy I'm so happy for is Mo Salah, because this guy, man, he went through a lot, bro. That 1 year was so bullshit. Like, not playing him.
Yeah.
That Shrewsbury game, that was like the nail in the coffin. Like,
yeah.
He looked so down.
Trust me.
He was looking mad fuzzy, fam.
Trust me, using the same. This is the same Mourinho using De Bruyne. He used to play on the wing. Remember, De Bruyne used to be a winger.
Right wing.
Right wing.
Exactly. Get him out. He don't work hard enough. It's like such lazy. Like, in England, we definitely don't appreciate these kind of players because.
Yeah, it's because too often it's guys like Neville, because they have a lot more influence than people think. Because anytime you watch a game, that's all you're hearing. The average person's.
And you do see why, like, Neville never became a top manager and he flopped at Valencia. You see why.
I see back into it. You can see he's not tried to. I mean, it's how many.
Like remember the Luis criticism? Like, this guy, I feel like slapping him, fam. The Luis criticism made him look like he's a complete liability. Last season, what he said made me fucking disgusted. Yeah, sorry for swearing.
Yeah, that's cool.
He said, yeah, Luis is playing well in the system because he got Matic and Kante in front of him, and he's being led by Cahill and Azpilicueta.
Thank God I never nonsense, to be honest.
I honestly just, and you know what? The only pundit I rate is Henry, and I can see Henry. He does get pissed off when they talk about these things. He does get pissed off.
Yeah.
Honestly, as soon as I was waiting for him to call Pogba mad things because the hate he was getting, he's not a top player.
Yeah,
he'd only be a fool. He's only good because he's basically saying he's good because he's physical. He's not technical at all. And in my opinion, Pogba, if he didn't even have that much physicality, he'd still be a world-class player because his technical ability, his gifts are through the roof.
But do people not see the technique on the ball, the type of passes, like?
I mean, it's beautiful.
Why is that dismissed? Not even ignored. Why is it dismissed? Because people see it.
It is dismissed.
They don't want to acknowledge it or appreciate it. That's what I don't understand.
It's just is this thing where we have every midfielder has to be Steven Gerrard, they have to be this box-to-box dynamite. This guy was the most tactically unaware knob I've ever seen in my life. The most mistakes. Like, Lampard was 50 million times better than Gerrard.
Yeah.
You never see Lampard out of position. You never see Lampard giving away silly fouls, red cards, own goals.
Because the funny thing is, remember that his last prominent season, when he got 17 goals. He was still playing in a midfield too, and my guy was still able to do his defensive work as well as get in the books. But when he had to drop deeper, he wasn't allowed to get forward anymore. And that to me, that's always summed up the difference between those players on who's the overall better player. Because Lampard understand, like you know.
Yeah, how long did he last? Remember in the 2012-13 season? That season honestly was like low-key my favorite season in for the last 10 years. Like, I love that season, honestly. Hazard, Mata, Oscar, Ramirez, Luis, Piazon, young team. Like, Luis was fucking incredible that season. Lampard was like the guy. That team was a great team. Bertrand behind Cole. The only thing missing was that Hamro. The only thing that was wrong was the Hamro striker Torres. So
Trust
dead.
me. That
People
was
trying
it.
to say he's a Chelsea legend.
Who's saying that? He's on CFC Fan TV is saying that because of his looks and that.
He's dead, bro. Michi's already surpassed his goal tally or some shit. I've already seen that. Like, wow.
Yeah.
I mean, we would have won the title, in my opinion, that season if we had like a Van Persie, like how he performed.
That's the mad thing, because it's like, even bringing up that point, when we look back at the team then, we thought our future was so exciting. The type of players we had, the football we were seeing, and that.
KDB on loan, Wolfsburg.
Exactly.
No
Wolfsburg.
Werder Bremen.
Trust me. And it's like all we needed was just a striker and a midfield, and we were set. And then Mourinho gets that. And literally, the squad he had when we won the league, that should be our squad we have now, you know. We've been
Rips it apart,
challenging
bro.
for Europe, like semi-final minimum every season, you know. But then, yeah, I don't. It's mad, but Mourinho is just not the same. Not the same
Ruud
guy no
Gullit.
more.
Ruud Gullit made a mad point back then.
Mhm.
Like he said, yo, we made a mistake by getting Mourinho. And I kind of agree, bruv. Like, it's kind of true still.
Yeah, it was, man. This is what I mean. I can't see the board making those same mistakes anymore. I think they've learned too many mistakes and lessons. I think, like, for example, it's like Marina's. It's like she's starting to become much more influential as being like the head at the club.
Yeah.
Like, the amount of learning experiences she's getting in such a short amount of time. Like, and she's a smart person too. So I can see her. I can see her being flexible and adapting. You know. I'm hearing that she's a fan of Jardim. I think to me that's already showing that she's learning football a bit more, which is a good thing to hear. But we'll see. Obviously, I've got that video coming tomorrow on who this other managerial target is. I mean, I was surprised to hear it, but it's not. I mean, all I'm going to say is don't think it's going to be some next crazy guy we've never heard of before. You know what I mean? Like, let's say Sean Dyche.
Oh, I'm going to stop
I
watching, bro.
want to do a video on that. I just stopped making videos. If that was the case, if
I
we were
would,
linked with Sean
because
Dyche, I wouldn't have put a single video on Sean Dyche. I wouldn't have bothered.
trust me, man. Like, people are hearing, I'm seeing Sean Dyche for England. Like,
And imagine that. The England are trying to like build borders, and you want to like bring someone that doesn't like the ball. Like,
yeah, fam, like, Ruben is going to the World Cup. You don't know already, but
yeah,
do you think you'd ever go for Sean Dyche? You'd probably play him centre back after what he did to Chalobah. Fuck him, man.
trust me.
But what was I saying? Yeah, you know what? Yeah, the other day I said, yeah, I think Jardim is the guy, and I really think he is the guy because
Okay.
I watched a lot of Monaco last season. I'm kind of like a little continental guy. Like I try to watch Napoli, Dortmund, Bayern, all of these things.
I'm not gonna lie. I think I'm happy that I spend the money on BT Sport because in terms of the game,
Yeah, BT Sport are way better than Sky. At least, like, and Jardim. What really, really makes me interested in is his versatility. He's not a guy to. He's not sworn oath like to his one philosophy, one style. Like he will switch off. He was actually known as a defensive manager, but he was always known as an advocate of youth, and that's what we really need because we do have a special thing going at Chelsea within the under 21s, and I think if we go to get a Jardim, man, that 4-2-4 for me, I really think this should happen.
Yeah.
The ins and outs, I would do this. I would sell Morata. A lot of people say they wouldn't sell him. I would sell him. Not anything personal against him.
Yeah.
I just think this guy, I really doubt he'll ever be a world-class striker. His finishing technique, it lacks so much conviction. Like, he almost doesn't believe he's going to score.
Yeah.
Like, I would sell this guy, but I know he's 25. He's still young. We'll probably get all the money back for him. I look at Michi and yo, Nini, I gotta say, you got the best comparisons ever, fam. You compared Michi to Falcao, and I could not agree more. The curling finishes, the left foot ones, that was Falcao's like trademark.
And finisher in the boots.
That's something you can't teach. You either have it or you don't. And that mental edge, I think Michi has more than got it because he's already proven Just look at his goals for Dortmund.
Mm.
I don't care if he was doing it in the Championship. Just the selection of finishes. The one against Atalanta at home, I think it was. Just turn, bang, top pins, keeper could do. When you finish it and the keeper has no chance to save, I really start to rate you in the upper echelons.
You know that you're
Striker.
a top striker too. Like, I mean, you don't have to see the goal; you just know where to hit
Exactly.
it. I kind of feel with Morata, if he can't see where he's gonna hit the ball, then it's not gonna go in.
And his just him as a person, I don't trust him. Like, he's too Torresy. Head down, run. Like, I don't care about work rate and like, get out of here, man. I don't care how hard you work.
Yeah.
I want a guy who I know who will finish the blood clot chance, bro, if he gets it in the box.
I'm not gonna lie, Mitchell's backheel goal was one of my favorite goals. One of my favorite ones.
I'm really having a vision of him and a certain Frenchman from Man United up front and being like the new Mbappe.
Imagine Hudson-Odoi. I think Hudson can make that transition, to be honest.
Do you?
Because here's the thing, I think with Hudson-Odoi, even looking at his stats, I mean, he's basically got the same amount of goals and assists. Now, to me, he's like the most malleable player because
still young.
If you wanted to coach him to play up front, he could. And maybe that could make sense for England because I'm looking at Sancho, I'm looking at Hudson. One of them has to play on the left. I'd probably go for Hudson because he scores, but Sancho's a baller as well. But maybe it would be best for the national team if, let's say, Hudson was the striker, or let's say playing with another striker, like playing but at the centre forward role or something like that.
Honestly, when you look at Hudson-Odoi, he does remind me of like a Neymar in that sense because the touches he takes, the way he's able to like stand you up, just like shrug one shoulder, bang, he's gone. You're not catching him. You're not doing nothing. I only see Neymar and Hazard could only do that. Like, only them two.
That's the point. Because he scores all types of goals outside the box, inside, free
kick yesterday.
That Neymar comparison, of course, Neymar's just much more flary. But in terms of like the efficiency, I can kind of see that. You know what though? I'm just praying because I will keep this at the final point because I just realized I need to go to bed soon. But real talk, with Sancho, obviously he's got quite a few minutes for Dortmund this year.
I think Hudson-Odoi is better.
Yeah, I think he's better too.
So complete.
I'm guessing you're the same as me. I was about to ask you, do you think he needs a loan move? I know you
learn what from MK Dons.
Trust me, bro. I'm scared if he got a loan move. I'm sorry. But let's say hypothetically he was to get a loan. What's a good club for him to go to?
Oh, hypothetically a good loan for Hudson-Odoi. His loan should be getting the 11 shirt and selling Pedro. That should be his loan.
Pedro,
There's no way we should loan like that. Pedro's a disgrace. I would sell. I'm gonna keep this short. Yeah, I would sell Pedro, Drinkwater, Cahill, Morata. People will be pissed. I don't care. And I'll sell Alonso because Alonso's stock will never be higher. Everyone's going to be loving him. He's a Spanish international. He's going to make the PFA team of the year. Don't ask me how the fuck he made that team.
What? Imagine De Bruyne. I think did he put Alonso in team of the season?
Yeah, he did.
I say no, he plays FIFA too much, so you can tell. That's what these players do, bang out FIFA.
Bruv, you can have him. All he is an outlet from the wing, 6'2".
Trust me.
He gets the ball. He's like a Mandzukic, you know what I mean? He gets the ball in the air, heads it down, and we play. I would sell him. I would bring in Jada Silva to replace him. I would bring in the man Ruben, of course. I'd bring him back. That was my favourite youth prospect. And I would sign Martial and Morris. I wouldn't buy Leon Bailey just because I don't think he's an inside forward yet. I seen him play the other day, and he was more of a left wing back. He was playing wing back. Crosses are amazing though. But yeah, he was more of a left wing back. I don't think he would be producing for us. I think really what we need is to get rid of Willian. I don't care if people get angry, bro. I would get rid of Willian. Not to say get rid of him, but just swap him with Martial. I think that would be such It'd be one of them moves where in 5 years everyone would be like, "Oh, Chelsea
Like Ashley
did
Cole
them,"
and William Gallas. Yeah, it'll be one of them ones. 100%.
and we would have Mahrez, Hazard as inside forwards, Emerson and Moses bombing forward, Martial floating, dribbling, running behind. He is so cold, especially in front of goal. He's like an Mbappe talent. They're like on the same level of talent. And then put Falcao up front, aka Michi, Batman. Like, goals. So Jordan, cool. He's not got this mad scientist persona that Tuchel has. And that's why I kind of feel like he'd have a great relationship with the board, with the players, everyone else. He'd be the calm guy after a defeat. He's not going to say this is our level and we are suffering and we're not good enough.
Trust me.
All of this BS. And
you're right.
Yeah, that's what I think, man.
Honestly, I'm kind of seeing that. That's my vision too. I'm praying we get Jardim. I'm going to the video tomorrow will be interesting. But even if I could pick the two, I'd probably still pick Jardim. Not even because he's much better. I just think personally,
It suits us more.
I just imagine that. I mean, how would it really cost? I mean, you think Mourinho wouldn't snap up William's hands like that?
Yeah, I would. I think he would.
Part of the deal for Martial, bro. Mahrez, that's 2 per set. Then bring back Mitchell. We've got Emerson already. I mean, what does the team really need then? I mean, you look at our defense: Zuma, Christensen, Luis, Rudiger.
Oh, Zuma. Let me address the Zuma hate.
Yeah.
All you Zuma haters say, because this is their main point about Zuma. He doesn't have the technical ability, and he's lost his physicality. And to me, that's crazy because he's with some of the top speed in the Premier League. He jumps the fucking highest. He's still a beast. He's still got it, bro. And I'm no way, and I'm not giving him up for Cahill, bro. Tell Cahill do one so I could go back to wherever he came from. Bring back Ruben, and you know who I would low-key promote? You might think I'm crazy for saying this.
Let me hear.
I think we should promote Deschamps Redan and Reece James. People think I'm crazy, but as the fourth choice striker, plus he'll probably be here next season. He won't go on loan, I don't think so. I think, like, managing his minutes, giving like 10 appearances. Same thing with Reece James. I think Reece James could be like the new Carvajal. In my opinion, the crossing ability, the one-on-one skills as well, him, Dujan. I mean, we're set, bruv. If we're able to just implement them into the team, bring out a style, really try to develop and entrust them, we will have all this shit that the Yerders are crying about, the passion and the leaders. They come from your academy. That's how you build a dynasty. They come from within. And that's how you build a footballing culture. I don't know why Gary Neville and these fucking pricks always talk about, oh, they've got no leaders. It's because we've got no academy products. We don't have people who, quotation marks, care. That's where it comes from, bro.
No, you're right. I think that Redan, I think that's an interesting one. Obviously, the type of forwards we're signing, obviously, we signed that Braff guy from PSV. We got that Diana Bala, the Austrian. We got Redan, all that type of striker that they're cool playing across the front three. They can beat a man with skill. They can run the channels. They can. I mean, Redan, I've been very impressed with how he likes to press and he's physical. I kind of think he could have a career because you know what managers, they like to see players that can run, especially in this country. You play him in a system that's you're pressing high. I mean, he's been doing good. I mean, I'm looking at Braff, this guy that is really good. And that Tiana, I haven't really seen too much of Ballo, but he's got a big reputation. And I just find it interesting that the model of youth striker we're going for is much different compared to what we had in, let's say, Ugbos and the Solanke and Abraham. They were more like, you know, Solanke and Abraham are more like poachers in a way. But it's like with these forwards are much more versatile. And I kind of feel the reason the club are going for players like that is because they could have futures playing up front or out wides or across the front three. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Like it's the type of striker they are. Ballo, who else? Redan, And this Braff guy, they are different to Solanke and Tammy, but and also a point on Tammy. Do you think he should go on loan next season?
Yeah, 100%. I think a loan would be good for him.
Because
I don't want to go abroad, my friend. Please, Premier League's not the answer.
Do you see how Carvajal they have less possession against West Brom? Are you?
Yeah, I know. They're not the same. This is no wonder they've been shit. They've lost all their philosophy.
He's an awful manager. He was playing. When he first came, I was worried for Abraham, and then he said, "I know Abraham. I was in the championship. He scored against me." Then he completely stopped using him, put him back in against Man United, and then only 2 worldy saves stopped them from scoring. And now they've scored their first goal in since whenever because of Tammy, bruv. And it's like, I really get pissed off with our long moves, and this is why we need a football director ASAP, man, because these decisions are like, we need to stop seeing people like Drinkwater play for Chelsea. Let's be honest, innit?
Yeah, and but honestly, I feel this guy. I don't see what future he'd have. To be honest, I really don't. I mean, if we let's say it's Jardine, where's he going to play? Well, I mean, he could be an option for Hazard on the left. I guess he could play in those type of like. What I think maybe he could play as a wide ball in the wide role. I mean, I think he could.
Who, Drinkwater?
No, not Drinkwater. Barkley. I think he could do something like that.
Barkley, no.
Maybe a backup.
You made an unbelievable point the other week, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
You said something about I died. You said he's part of that generation of them overrated English talents because England were producing nothing. Him, Henderson, Michael Richards.
Trust me, all them.
Remember, they were big talents.
Rodwell, remember Rodwell? Linked to Man City for years.
Like Henderson is so dead, and he's still out of sympathy. I think him and Drinkwater are like the same level. A lot of people don't like to admit it because Henderson plays for Liverpool and whatever. But they're on the same level of player. At least Drinkwater used to have them sexy 60-yard passes.
Trust me.
They were like punts up, but he was stiff as shit, man. He don't move well at all on the field. They both don't move well. You see them, they're not agile.
They're the type of players where it's like they follow instructions, but they don't know what to do if you don't tell them what to do, type of thing, you know.
They're meant to have that Mikel role, even though I thought Mikel was a baller. He just turned into the human 90th minute whistle, full-time whistle kind of guy.
But trust me, Mikel was another one. You know, I hate this club. We've got this history of always using players in the wrong position. Now, for me, Mikel is in that same category as, like, let's say Thiago Motta, Busquets. The guys and
Carrick.
Exactly, Carrick, anchorman. You sit right in front. You drop deep into defense when your team pushes up. That was no wonder his best ever season was under Ancelotti. You know, start attacks.
Yeah, he had a great season, bro. We won the double. Lampard was pushing up.
Yeah, keep playing the 3-man mid. I don't know why we stopped to 2-man mid for no reason all of a sudden. It came out
that 2-man mid. When did it really start? Because I don't even remember us using it.
AVB.
Was it AVB?
I don't get why it continued after that.
Exactly, Mourinho.
Yeah, might have Mourinho. But I was kind of thinking, obviously, Mourinho wanted Pogba. Something's telling me he wanted to go back to 4-3-3. Because if you got Matic, Fabregas, Pogba, that's it.
But in my opinion, I don't think he wants to do that. I don't think he wants to because the way he uses Pogba, he's literally bought a guy for 90 million that you could use, that you could buy a guy for like 10 million to do that job, that defensive midfield, deep playmaker. Yeah, Pogba. It does frustrate me. Like that's why I'm kind of happy these kind of managers are gone because I've barely gone to the bridge. The last game I went to the bridge was Everton early in the season. We won. We did win. We were up 2-0. And the game just died out because all of these managers, they don't like to like really grab that lead and destroy the team and press to the last minute. Like we actually sit off every team. For Conte, we sit off every team, and you see it's so frustrating, bruv. Like, do you think this is like one of our worst seasons? Like, this is our worst season
Yeah, I mean, it's
Obviously,
definitely,
excluding the Mourinho last one, it's our worst season in
no, I'd
in the
say,
Mourinho in the whole
yeah,
Abramovich era.
yeah, I guess, but it's the performances. I mean, I'm
Awful,
looking through my match review,
turgid.
what I'm saying about them, and I'm complaining about most of them because it's not, the performances aren't even good when we win. So I
And
mean,
the players were
that tells-
linked to
yeah,
Brozovic and
Brozovic
Biani
trying to
and
bring
Llorente.
nonsense. Brozovic, I don't know.
Oh my god, man.
Trust me, man.
This is like the frustrations I've been having just watching this year, bro. Like,
Yeah, I can tell
as
that.
I said, I stopped going. I saw I stopped going after. I went to a couple of games last year. It was decent. It was nothing amazing like people say.
Mhm.
I went to West Brom at home when we won 1-0.
Mhm.
And I went to West Brom away and won the league.
Mhm.
Unbelievable day, bruv. But that day, yeah. Let me ask you a question. Messi scored that goal. It was a great finish. Let's not get it twisted. Would Morata have ever done that?
Nah, I think we know the answer to that. But again,
Scuffed it, hit the post, hit his knee, gone out.
exactly. But yeah, man, I'll probably call this stream, end it for the night.
Yeah, man, it's been good, bruv. It's
Yeah,
been
it's been
live, man.
good to obviously speak again. Obviously, I got your email, so I can holler at you. I'll holler at you tomorrow, actually. And yeah, man, obviously, thank you for coming on.
Alright, my guy.
Being a Patreon subscriber as well, man. I really appreciate that.
Yeah, I'm jumping on that, man. I love your videos, man. And listen, man,
Mhm.
keep going, man. Keep going.
Yeah, I've got big plans. I've been already. I'm speaking to people about a website for next season. I'm thinking maybe I like some of the comments you write. You'd be interested in doing articles when I get this website up.
Yeah, I've actually tried to write articles and everything. And like, yeah, I kind of enjoy it because I've always got like different ideas. Like
Yeah.
when you said that thing about Jardim,
Mhm.
and then you mentioned in one of the live streams William for Hazard. My head just went off, man. My head just went off. Like, yeah, I fucking see that working, bruv. Because I don't care if William gets his chance and he rejected Tottenham, whatever, bruv. Safe, I'm doing it. And I'd actually think and construct a way that would be able to do it. I get it, man.
Trust me, man.
I'd be interested, yeah, man.
Yeah, that'd be good. Next season, I've definitely got a lot of big plans. To be honest, I'm going. Obviously, beginning of May, I'm going to Thailand and Malaysia, so I'll be there for 2 weeks. I'm gonna miss the Liverpool game. I don't really care that much. Actually, I do care a bit, but I'll try and find a game out there to watch it. I need to try to do a match review.
Liverpool gonna thump us, bruv. Robertson and Trevor Arnold pushing up. Alonso ping back. Cahill.
Robertson cross to freaking, I'm not surprised. Every player that's left Chelsea has scored against us this season, so it's fate. It's gonna happen.
Even Ake, bruv. And he celebrated. I said, good on him, bruv.
Yeah, exactly. But like I'm saying, I'm hoping to look at merchandise. I'm trying to think of doing a bit of Blue Lions TV merch for next season. Well, not actually, I wouldn't call it Blue Lions TV merch. Let's be Blue Lions. Obviously, I got to keep it, a bit wavy in that. But yeah, man. Obviously, thanks for coming on, and yeah, we'll speak.
Hey, yo, one last thing, yeah.
One last thing, yeah. Cool.
Shout out the commenters, yeah. Man, like forward thinking. Aji So. Kwame Goring. Defend my family jewels. These man, like, I love these guys, fam. This is why I come to the chat every week.
Exactly. Real talk, yeah. This is what I'm trying to do with the website. I want to do this community thing where it's like, imagine you guys only have to talk when it's a live stream, but it's like, imagine there's like a place on the site where it's like a forum place, you want to talk, discuss this or that, or whatever. You know what I mean? Because I'm hoping for when people write articles, there'll be a comment section underneath them so people can interact in that. And also, my whole motto for the website is community, so that subscribers come on, talk to each other, do all of this, do all of that, and you know what I mean?
Yeah, that would be live, bro.
Too many of that. You see so many of these Chelsea sites. I wonder why do most of them even need sites, because they don't really offer anything. They don't really do.
They feel so entitled, like with everything. Like we're forced to do everything, and like, even when the team plays badly, it's like we don't deserve this and all of this fucking bullshit. Like the Barcelona videos.
Yeah.
Laos is sometimes my guy. I only say sometimes because I don't agree with anything he says, bro. He always talks shit, bro. Like, but anyway, yeah. I don't want this no man in it, but I wanted to ask you one last question, yeah.
Okay, cool.
Because Ruben Loftus-Cheek is my guy, bruv. I don't want to know Milinkovic, know whoever Goretzka, whoever come in to take his spot. Because this season he's been playing barely fit, no fitness, badding it up for Newcastle, Crystal Palace. No fitness, you know, no match fitness. Not played for like 2.5 years. He's gonna make the World Cup squad. I already think that's gonna happen. What shirt number is gonna get? Because Bakayoko took his 14 shirt and just took it, buoyed it off him.
Yeah, that's mad. And obviously Barkley took number 8. Why did the club even let him take number 8?
Like, I always thought Ruben's gonna get that 8. It was only right that Ruben got that 8. He's an academy guy.
Barkley of all players too.
And these guys are like academy. They've been ball boys since forever. Like,
trust me.
That's where the heart passion shit comes from. Not fucking one guy from Roma who doesn't know shit from. No, shout out Rudiger for what he said. I fucks with him for that. What a guy.
You had to say that. You know, I don't mind Rudiger. He's grown on me as the season's gone on. I can't lie.
Yeah, same.
I see him like David Luiz though when I look at like his temperament and stuff like that, and the audacity. Not
and
as
he got swag.
But like the European version of like David Luiz.
Trust me, man.
Trust me, bro. But yeah, man. Obviously, thanks for coming on. I'm gonna end the stream now. But yeah, we'll obviously speak, and I'll holler at you later.
Alright, my G, take care.
Yeah, man. See you later. And you guys, obviously, another epic. You know, I'm always doing these epics all the time, and I've got another. The Q&A live stream is out tomorrow, so you guys in the chat, I will be answering your questions then. So save them for tomorrow. I think that after you guys watch tomorrow's video, as well as obviously seeing the latest one I did, you have a lot of interesting discussion points to make. I think you definitely will. So yeah, you guys, I think my thing's even starting to freeze a bit now. That's how you know it's time for bed. My computer's tired. He wants to sleep. Thank you guys for watching. I'm NiiNiifc. This is Blue Line TV. Thank you everyone that stayed on this stream the whole time. 100 people strong. It's actually been mad. Thanks to everyone. I see everyone that's always at me all the time. Yeah, it's like 3 a.m. now. I'm going to go to bed now, you guys. Thank you for watching. I'm NiiNiifc. This is Blue Line TV. Signing out. See you guys tomorrow.